last time this happened, we weren't
time?
in this room when it happened.
That's
Remember,
true.
we went to a different room. We weren't in the room where it
hided.
happened. Yes. So now it's working.
Gotcha.
Hello. We'll let people. So normally, I'm gonna say all this as though I was Will. Sorry, go
Can
for
you
it. So
impersonate Will, though?
normally we would there would be like a countdown, and there would be like a little rotating thing, and people would filter in. We'd give it a few minutes. We're not doing that. We're just jumping in hot, which means that we'll probably be about 20 minutes into the session before anybody shows up, but that's okay.
This is for mostly YouTube. Like Twitch is just
this-
like a nice thing.
Exactly. All right, Will, take it away.
Cool. Welcome to Dungeons and Designers. It has been a
Hold
minute.
on. I think I was making a dumb face when you said welcome, and it's important to me that I'm not. Go again.
Welcome to Dungeons and Designers. It's been a minute and a few seconds. We're back playing D&D, and we're going to be joined by Jonathan Cutrell. Did I say your last name right?
It's close enough.
Absolutely, you did. You absolutely did.
I think
You
that's
and
what
I
you
have
should
played-
change your character's
It
last
is.
name
It
to,
is
though.
two individual names, two individual words.
Cutrell.
Cutrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Cutrell.
Yeah. And,
Uh,
however you choose to say Cutrell. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It has been a while since you and I played D&D, but it feels like yesterday. It's nice seeing your face again.
It was fun.
Lauren.
Once upon a time, I was I believe I was a police officer.
Yes, in
that
a
was-
Waterdeep, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, so that was moons ago. Lauren, I don't know, have I ever... I know you were a guest
Yes.
on Dungeons & Designers once. Have we played since then?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I was there when Zach died, so it was very memorable.
Wait a
for
minute.
me.
The last time that you guys have played together was then?
So
In
I
a
played-
crocodile, right?
I did play with Cole.
Oh, that's
to
true. I'm
replace
sorry. I'm sorry.
Patrick.
I thought you meant for
come
Dungeons and
on.
Designers. Okay.
No, I
sorry.
did mean for Dungeons & Designers. So it's been a while. And Andrew, Patrick, it's just good to play D&D with you guys again. It's been, like we said, a while, and I'm excited to roll some dice. So tonight we're doing something that's a little bit different. We're not playing a campaign or anything. It's just a one D&D one-off session. But what we wanted to do is Patrick and I have been talking about One DnD and the updates as they come out. We are right now on the back quarter of the One DnD second release. The polls or the surveys are all open. So if you've read through the rules, or even our party today, if after we play you want to go share your information with Wizards, it's just really cool what they're doing. They're allowing the community to kind of interject their thoughts and what they want D&D to be.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing today. We're going to kind of test it out. And just like to get us going. So first off, I built all the characters for everybody because I've been the one kind of seeping myself in all these rule changes. And yeah, it's a gross word, right?
Maybe a better word. I don't know. Just maybe workshop
like
it
it,
a
I
little
like
bit.
it.
Are you moist with the rules
Any other
now?
But like the big changes with creating characters is that the background now actually means a lot. A lot of your bonuses, like for your attributes, come from your background. And the idea is that a race can go through whatever different lifestyles or life choices that kind of create the person or habit or whatever to be who they are. So these backgrounds now bring in that. So you'll see, did we get a dwarf? Is someone playing the dwarf?
Yeah.
So you'll see, because I picked background, I believe I picked soldier. You're playing a dwarf rogue, but your strength is actually higher than your dexterity, if I remember correctly. And that's because this background influences kind of your class. And what it allows you to
crazy.
what it allows you
very
to do is
cool.
create just some kind of awkward builds that are kind of fun. Another thing it does, and D&D is really pushing into this, is the idea of feats, which for many players, you could have played D&D your whole life and never have picked up a feat. But now everyone gets a feat through their background, which is just, I think, like a really cool thing. It's just like, how can we customize our characters? But what D&D has changed is customization used to be do whatever you want, right? It was this idea of like, you're in control of whatever you want. But right now they're giving us tools and like kind of giving us little sandboxes to customize in, which I think is pretty exciting. Some other things that changed, just like these are rule changes that might come up. The D20 rules have changed. If you guys roll a D20, you crit. If I roll a D20, I don't crit anymore. D1s are failures. So that's the same kind of thing. But if you guys also roll a D20 in addition to getting kind of your bonuses and your automatic successes, you also get inspiration. You can only have inspiration once. And again, I think the Wizards is doing this because if you play D&D with me, you never got inspiration. I'd never understood the importance of it.
That is true. You've never...
We've
never inspired you.
And
that's okay.
there was weird things in the core rule books where like inspiration, it was suggested to give it to players who role play better. And that's just not really cool. It's not treating the table equally. So this just gives it kind of, again, create a rule system to kind of make these mechanics work a little bit better. I've got a list of things here that I think might come up. But if people watching this, you can go download the last 2 PDFs and see all the rule changes. The only other big change I want to point out for you guys. So on your attributes, when you see like the numbers going down all the different skills, you'll see 2 that have an E next to it. All that means is that those are your expertise attributes.
Oh, that's
so you get double your proficiency. So if you were like, why is this a 7? It's because instead of adding 2, we add 4 to each of those.
So that's already doubled.
I've already put all those doubles in there. Yeah. So anything that's
don't double the 6 that I have for athletics.
Right.
Anymore.
And anything you see that has proficiency, I've already built that proficiency in there for you. So if you have like a 4 and it looks proficient, it's because I added the 2 already to it. So when we first started talking about this party, there was an idea that we might have 1 or 2 people who've never played D&D. So I was trying to like kind of just streamline this as much as possible. But now I got a table of people who've played D&D a ton.
We're all experts here.
Yeah, so sorry for calling you out on that. The other thing I would like to call out for you guys, and if
now,
you want,
when my background says Charlton, does that mean I'm good at doing that dance?
Yeah, that's the Charleston.
yeah, that sounds right there. Yes.
Again, experts, go ahead.
Multiple Charles.
The other thing, and this might come in handy for you guys later, and I'll bring it up, but it's in that PDF I uploaded to you guys. At the very bottom, there's a search and study action. Again, is this them trying to clarify, like, when do you use the different skills you want? So if you're looking for a creature...
Rut-row.
He's dropping the dice.
It's gone forever. I'll never find that, guys.
Oh, boy.
It's gone to Narnia.
If you're trying to, like, determine someone's state of mind or what's ailing them, you would use insight or the medicine check. So again, all Wizards is doing is giving us, like, kind of nice blocks to be like, hey, DM... don't try to guess. Here's some tools to help you. And I think
it also makes getting started like way easier for
much
both
easier.
DMs and players. I think if you're like, you can do anything, but then this is like, if you don't know what to do, here are guide stones, and then if you do, you can find things that match.
What I would say is, I started DMing. Patrick, I know you've been DMing a bit. Cool. Jonathan, I know you started fairly recently. I don't know if Lauren or Andrew, if you guys have ever DM'd, but like when you DM, it's usually because no one else wants to. And a lot of that usually has to do with fear. Like people are afraid to DM.
I don't want to.
So through playing this, I just want to like tell people like Wizards is actively making it a little bit easier so that it's not so much just make up whatever you want and have fun, because that's not a game. That's just like improv. So they're trying to kind of structure improvisation, and I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like some of the things that you would do already.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
just kind of simplify.
It just is kind of saying, oh, this is how you would use this, and giving you a little bit more of a base to work from.
Well, and there's also other things. So there's this idea with these new rules that they're going to either clarify the rules they already had so you know what they mean, or they're changing the rules to be what people used to think they meant. And one of those, the second there is ritual casting. So if you guys have a spell that has ritual casting, you used to need a ritual skill, I believe they called it, or a feature. So only certain classes had the ritual feature. So if it had a ritual tag, that wasn't enough. I didn't even know there was a ritual feature. I just figured everyone could use the ritual spell if it said ritual. So that's one of the rules. Like they've gotten rid of that kind of idea of feature now. And like I think everybody can use ritual things because it says it there on the spell.
Yeah.
So you guys have had a few minutes to kind of check through your character sheets. Is there anything that like stood out and you're just like, I have no idea what I'm looking at? In addition to the new characters and maybe the slightly different play aspects, I also gave everyone one magic item because we're level 3 in this setting or this session. And I wanted to give you guys like, what's some of the stuff you might have gained on your adventures prior to today? So questions on magic items or questions on character sheets?
So mine is studded leather. That's my magic item.
Leather Daddy.
You should have. What's the last item?
I
All
think
the way
the bard
down.
didn't have one.
Scroll down, Patrick.
Bard
to your
didn't
page
have
2.
one.
Page 2.
No,
Well,
it would be on that equipment. What's the last thing on the equipment list?
No, that's what I'm telling you. It's glamored studded leather
Yes.
plus 1 bonus to AC. You gave me a leather vest.
Yes, that has
I
extra
appreciate
AC. There's also that magic item has other features. So if you go on to potentially page 2,
That's what I was talking about. It's on page 2.
I overfilled all of the squares, so it's gonna be a little bit of a go and search for the information. Sorry, guys. We got out of hand.
Okay, so
Oh no. I did my homework, especially because I started off with a race I've never heard of.
Well, let's start there. So you're playing the Ardling, and what the Ardling feels like right now is how do we take the Tabaxi, the what did you play, Andrew? What was the bird? Aarakocra.
The Aarakocra, yeah.
And then, man, my brain is half working. What was the Raven one that Zach used to play?
That's
I think
the
that's the same, right?
No, that starts with a. They don't fly, so it's different.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
But they're taking
ostrich.
We'll use that.
It'll come to us later. Yeah.
But we're playing the Ardling kind of takes a lot of those animal features from all those different races and puts it into one like angelic race.
Kinku.
It's a Kenku.
So
Yes.
Kenku, that's it.
Aren't they like they just like mimic? They essentially mimic birds, kind of, sort of.
That's what a kenku is.
Kenku.
Right?
Yeah.
So Lauren,
Yes.
did you read about the Ardling at all?
I did because, like I said,
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Is there anything interesting that like came up?
Yeah, I would say it's like to me, it also kind of translated like a lot of different like mythologies have creatures or like deities with like animal features. You know, like a lot of Egyptian mythology and things like that. So it was kind of like being more inclusive than just having like angels and devils as well.
Absolutely.
You can kind of, as far as all that goes. And yeah, it's pretty fun. You can fly like temporarily and some other cool stuff. And it's funny because like I read this article where it's like distinctly like it's not that you like are half animal. It's you have an animal head stuck on a
Right.
human's body
Right.
very specifically. So you're kind of weird looking.
Any weirder than like a cat person walking around?
I guess.
But yeah, they
Even
did.
more strange, I guess.
The idea, so Aarakocra was a very controversial race for DM specifically because it was like, oh, you can have a race that just flies around and shoots down arrows, right? And it wasn't fun if a player would take advantage of all of those elements. But for the Ardling, you don't have kind of an infinite fly.
Yeah, you get.
What did you find out about that?
So you can, as a bonus action, temporarily sprout wings and basically like have a super jump is kind of
Yeah.
what I would call it. Like you have to land on something or you'll crash to the ground. So it's more like a super jump than like actually being able to fly. But you could use it to like get up and down whenever you want. And
Well,
you do
it-
have a limit on those.
It
Which is your
allows you
proficiency
to,
bonus.
if you're doing a melee attack, it allows you to get up to a flying creature and attack, right? Like
Oh,
there
yeah.
are a lot of benefits, but it's not like you're going to be able to use this as a 100% defensive measure of just like flying circles around the
yeah,
field.
like just go jump up in the air. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems cheap.
So are there any other things that like popped out to anyone or questions you guys might have? If not,
Yes.
we can. Okay, cool.
It's specific to my magic item. There are 1, 2, 3. There's 3 different attributes of it, or 3 different abilities that it can do, and each one of them says I can do it once, and then until I have a short or long rest. Does that mean I can do all 3, or I have to choose one of those 3?
If above the 3, it doesn't say do one of the following once per day, but it says once per day under each header.
Yes.
You'll be able to. You can do all of them.
Okay, cool. We're good.
yeah, I guess a piece of clarity.
Sure.
Glamour studded leather. Mm-hmm. Do you think this is like chaps or a vest?
I think
It's
that's
both, probably.
player determined.
It's probably
Okay.
both.
And then it
I
says,
mean, it has to provide some amount of
Cup?
protection.
It probably
you know?
some sort of cup.
You've never played a JRPG, have you?
Just kidding.
okay, so +1 bonus AC, and then it says plus use. It's either use or use a bonus action to make this armor appear as normal clothing. So that's saying that.
Oh, that's cool.
Can you? What does it mean? That might be cool. It might
You
not
can
be
use
cool.
you can use your bonus action to have it look regular if you're trying to not stand out in a crowd.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to start as all good one sessions in a tavern. If you don't want the people all around you to know that you have this magical armor set or piece, then you would come in, it would just look like everyday clothing.
Is it super obvious that it's magical otherwise?
It's glamoring.
If they're assless chaps.
Well, yeah.
Which means
Special.
it's doubly shiny because both sides are reflective.
Yeah, so they'll just look like trousers if you want to use that bonus action.
I think I got
Boring.
lucky and I have 2 magic items, or I got the description of an extra magic item that I do not actually have.
So if you go into your equipment list, do you see
Yeah,
a magic
let me
item
look
at the
it up.
bottom?
Just roll with it.
Just roll with it, yeah.
Accept it.
Yeah,
I was
yep.
like, if
So
he has 2,
I don't
I'm
know what
down.
it's called though. Is my question. So there is a cape that smells faintly of brimstone, and then also bracers of archery. So I think I might have both of those things.
I think just which one has the info block? Just bracers?
Bracers, yeah. Well,
Then just
no,
use the
both of them.
bracers.
Both of them
Oh.
have info, but there is not a title for the cape.
Hey, then you can make
So-
up whatever title you want because I messed up, so you just get 2 items.
So I just found this cape. Wonderful.
That sounds like it.
It's someone
I
left
believe
it
that's
at
the
bar.
description of the
It's
cape
just-
that I have also, which is
It's
awesome.
just below.
I would assume I was
Yeah.
probably trying to swap them. So here,
Cross
you get rid of-
pollinating.
I'll get rid of the brim
I'll-
of the cape then.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
that
Alright,
sounds
cool.
good.
Boo.
I was like, we can both have this magic cape. Like,
So even though we're trying to play the One DnD rules, you guys do know playing with me usually means we just do whatever we want. So if you guys both want the cape, I'm down for it.
yeah. That's
I'm
why
gonna
I like,
I'm gonna look
Say
for
yes.
another cape
Say
in
yes.
this.
Yeah, I
bar
also
probably,
want a cape.
So.
Do we all get capes?
Everyone gets a cape. It's
a
Oprah.
Nightcrawler cape. It's very cool.
I'll use my
Everyone
banner
gets
as
a
my cape.
cape.
I'll just unfurl my banner and just put it over my shoulders.
Without ruining anything, I don't think we need 2 of that particular kind of cape. So
All right.
We'll
So let's
see.
get into it. I'm sure questions will pop up as we're playing. That's expected. But let's do it while we play. So our party is a group of sellswords. You're making your living by performing different jobs that often puts you in harm's way. You're kind of like the mercenaries of this little region. Being level 3, you're not like heroic mercenaries, right? You're kind of like the people just getting started. You might have like a few jobs that you're back now. You've kind of learned new skills. Each of you guys have your like specialty or subclass, right? So you guys are feeling pretty good. But this small village sent out multiple ravens, each having a little message on their foot saying, "We can hear their drums. We've heard the tales. If no one hears our cries, they will turn to screams with the strike of a battle axe." And underneath it's signed Alverton, which you guys have heard of, the village. It's on the Desarin River, east of the Sword Mountain, and there's a price tag attached, 200 gold. And that was enough to get you guys interested. You guys weren't too far away. It was maybe just like a half day or full day's journey. And where we're going to start this little session we're playing here, you guys are currently in a tavern called the Friendly Drum Lodge. You're sitting across an old elderly man called Timothy. He's all wrinkly. You can tell he's like worked this village hard. Probably something in agriculture because that's most of the culture around here. There is food in each of your spots, right? And you guys didn't have to pay for it. They knew you were coming or hoping someone would come. And when you arrived, it was like they're treating you as well as possible. But you can see everyone else around is looking kind of a little bit poorer, right? So you guys probably get the idea like this 200 gold is probably being taken from everybody because no one person had 200 gold. And they're all looking very nervous.
That we are there. Or just
No.
in general. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
because of the drums. And what Timothy looks across the table and goes, "We've heard from the other villages. These orcs have been appearing and creating little camps and kind of going through and raiding all of these villages. Our sister town did. It happened to them 2 weeks ago. We can hear their drums. You're coming just in time."
Can we hear the drums?
At night, so it's right now it's like midday, so you guys haven't heard the drums, but he tells you like at night these drums kind of start happening. Potentially like parties are happening within this camp before the raid.
So we're in this town of Alverton now.
And it's a small town, maybe just like a handful of cottages. There's a blacksmith, a general store. There's a church to Amunator, the keeper of the golden sun. but it's a really low key village, right? Without you guys here, you can look around. Like no one is defending this village against these orcs. Like I would explain this very similarly how like Vikings when they came across shore, right? Like the villages would have been like there's demons on the other side of the beach, right? Like people are coming, and that idea of helplessness. But you guys have arrived being kind of that barrier between.
So why haven't you fought them off?
Yeah, and you say that, and someone like whips their head kind of towards you, and then Timothy looks over. He's like, "We're just a mere agricultural village. Like pitchforks would not be enough for this."
What do you grow?
And he like points to the food in front of you. He goes, "All that we eat, the potatoes you have here, that spinach."
Ha! Potatoes. I don't know why anybody wastes their time with potatoes.
You can bake them, smash them, put them in a stew.
Okay, so
Boiled
so
potatoes,
I don't
scalloped
understand.
Molasses.
you just want us to go kill these people? Was that what's happening?
fried potatoes.
Yeah, and you hear like a small whimper or cry from the corner, and he goes, "We've already had 2 children go missing. We haven't seen the orcs visibly, but we think they've been in the woods around us, and they've kidnapped these 2 children."
Children going missing is good for them. I mean, I went missing when I was a kid, and I turned out great.
Then just get them back in time. We just want them
literally
back
laughed
alive.
behind him.
Okay, wait, can you point which direction they are? I know you said there are drums. Which direction do they come from?
Yeah, so he points over kind of to the north west, and as you guys were coming in kind of from the southwest, you know that there's a wooded section kind of behind the village. It's right on the edge of the woods, so they tell you like, yes, all the drumming can be heard through the trees on the other side over there.
Okay.
But like, why potatoes?
How large are these woods, Timothy?
Hundreds of acres. Like it's a very large forest.
You might find
Are these
a Pooh Bear there.
Are are these woods owned by any particular person, or is it just
No,
just
and he
wildland?
explains like there are a few other villages on the other side. We all just use this as like our hunting grounds.
This is called the tavern. The tavern is called the Friendly Drum Tavern.
Yeah, drum lodge.
You guys know the difference between friendly and malicious or unfriendly drumming. Is this why you're calling us to help? Because this sounds malicious.
Extraordinarily malicious.
Okay, that's all I need to know. And then I take a huge swig and finish off my beer. I assume I had a beer.
What's this table made out of?
Like beer stained wood, like thick, old, worn in. There are knife marks in it. It's seen better days.
This will last forever.
I take my dagger and I go. I don't want to actually do it on my desk, but like I just stab it in and I say, "Enough with the chat. Let's go get this." Because all I'm caring about, I want to go get the money. I want
It
to take.
really felt like you were gonna rhyme that and you didn't.
I'm
Can you
not
do
the
that
bard.
again?
You're the
but can you
bard.
rhyme it this time?
You're the bard, not me.
Yeah, help him out.
That's what my dad did. I don't bard.
And Timothy looks over and goes, when do you think you'll do this? Do you want to try to do it before it gets dark? Are you going to try to do it under the shadow of the moon?
No, we're gonna sit here and eat potatoes for 2 weeks. Yes, we're gonna go do it now.
Let's go.
Timothy,
Yeah, orcs need
I
sunlight.
feel, I feel the responsibility to apologize for my friends. They live a rough life, but I guarantee you that they mean well.
And Timothy's like, they can do whatever they want as long as they help us. Like we're no beggars here.
I stand up, and you'll notice that my pants don't stick to the bar surface because they're assless chaps.
And there's a sweat stain.
Are you wearing anything else besides the chaps?
Are you?
I thought this is how you wore assless chaps.
I mean, I might wear a top with it, but that's up to you.
I stand up and there is a sound because I am wearing pants, and I resheath my dagger and push
I resheathed my dagger.
I push the bar stool in and I say, "Let's go."
Can we? Before we go, let's ask. I want to ask Timothy. How many orcs do you think are in the camp?
I walk out before I hear the answer.
Yeah, and Timothy explains he can't be positive. He's seen and heard from survivors that kind of passed through their town from these other villages, and it could be up to dozens. But they really don't know. These attacks happen so quick that people try to just run out as fast as they can. If anyone were to sit and count, they would easily be dead.
It's probably the work of 3.
Just one less than us. That's what's important.
I've seen this before. Listen, I've seen this before a dozen times. It's probably the work of 3.
I pop my head back in and say, "Are you guys coming?"
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's follow him.
So as you guys all exit this tavern, what I'd like to do, and we kind of skipped over this, is
Sorry.
I just want to hear what each of you look like and your names and preferably like your race and class, just so for everyone. So Patrick, you want to start us off just because you're in my top left?
Sure, I'm Quintist. I'm 80 years old. Oh, thank you. I'm 80 years old. I've seen all of my friends die. I would like to die, but unfortunately, I'm very spry for my age.
He'd like to die, but he's just too spry.
Unfortunately, I'm just really healthy, and I've lost the music.
It's so sad.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Andrew, you want to get us going with your character?
Yeah. So I am Quaxley Boykins, and I am a dwarven rogue. I am 203 years old. So that's roughly about a 37 to 38-year-old male in human age, time,
Human years?
sequences. I don't. Yeah. So I go. I'm very roguelike in nature. I like to fight. I like to get into battles, and I'm quite strong. I'm maybe not your average. I'm not as nimble as your typical rogue. I am smart and still I can still pick a lock or two. But I can also win in a fist fight if need be. So
You look overweight.
you're an asshole.
You should have said you can see his asshole.
What I'll say is, so while building these characters, the dwarf was one of the more rewarding. They've said, while kind of trying to create the dwarf, that they're trying to make the dwarfiest dwarf that's ever been in D&D. And you've got a few features that I think I left on the first page. I know one of them is tremor sense.
Mm-hmm.
This idea that you can kind of like
cool.
feel the ground or feel rocks and kind of feel things coming and going.
Yeah.
What were the other ones that you had on that list?
I have Savage Attacker, which is what is super awesome. I have trained a great deal, particularly damaging strikes. When you take the attack action and hit a target with a weapon that's part of that action, you can roll the weapon's damage twice and use either roll against the target.
So that one actually comes from your soldier background, I believe.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah, when I was reading that, and that's why I said I was trying to make something that felt different from like the rogues you've played in the past, and kind of being like, how can you make a rogue that's more strength focused than
This definitely makes me want to
dexterity.
get in the mix. And then I've got this really rad magic item, which is the banner of the Krigg rune, which does a lot of really fun stuff that helps the entire team. So like once like the whole group. So like once we get into some battle, as long as people are the magic number here is about 20 feet. As long as everybody is within 20 feet of me or this banner when it's unfurled, which is about the length of my body, by the way. This is my entire length of my body. It can help us pretty tremendously. So
right on.
Yeah, so that's pretty rad.
the visuals of like in mid battle, just like pulling out your like charge banner. It says, "Oh, that's
And it's
super cool."
It's a thick red fabric, is what it is. So it's very visually appealing.
Right on. All right, we want to go to Lauren.
Cool. I am an Ardling Ranger, and I decided to have the head of a raven. And I had extra time before we started, so I actually just drew my character because I thought that would be fun.
Man.
Oh, look at you just show it off.
Dang, that's good.
Well, I had like 30 minutes to kill, so like I had.
Can
an
you
idea
draw
in my
mine
head.
real quick?
Yeah, I'll tell you while we're working on this.
Is Patrick currently drawing his?
Yeah,
I
Patrick's
hope
working
so.
on his.
Good.
Yeah, so they have this very important magical cape, and kind of decorated the inside with lots of like tattered like cloth and stuff, so it kind of looks like feathers. So you can't really tell, like, because of how they're dressed, like where the bird starts and the human ends, and vice versa. I think I forgot to say the name is Moonin, and she likes to has hung out in the woods like a lot, has done a lot of adventuring and traveling, and is very like protective of people in her group.
Right on. And then we want to get over to Aldred.
Yeah, Aldred Plower, or Red, as his family and friends call him. He grew up essentially in a town kind of like this. It was pretty much farmer land. His family kind of lost their lineage, and the last couple of 100 years, well, I guess in Elven world, this would be the last couple thousand years. They have essentially just been farming the land and assigned themselves the last name of Plower. So Red Plower is a ranger, and he is a level 3 ranger hunter guide, is what I have on my sheet.
Cool.
Not entirely sure. I think hunter is like a type of a ranger, and then guide
Yes.
is the background for the ranger.
Yes, exactly.
So in the same way that you can have like a wood elf, you can have a hunter ranger.
So
is that right?
I just realized that mine
sort
is
of,
that
so-
too, and now I saw that.
So right now, there's going to be some overlap. So in One DnD, the materials they're going to so far, we've got in 3 classes: Bard, Ranger, Rogue, and then 1 subclass for each. So the Rogue, I believe, is Thief.
Yes.
The Ranger's Hunter, and the Bard is, I don't remember what the Bard was. That was the first one I made.
Thanks.
Right,
What
'cause
does it
there's
say
also-
up there on your top there, level 3? It says Bard what?
College of Lore.
Yeah. So
it means you get
just-
extra spells, I believe.
well, and this is just like kind of original 5e. So every class has multiple subclasses, and I'm sure One DnD will. This is just like the first test material. So you're the typical ranger is the hunter, the one who lives in the woods or lives in a certain kind of region and lives off the land, has that survivalist nature.
Yeah, exactly. Which lines up with kind of what this background is in my head, at least. And as a part of that, like a lot of his childhood, which is like the first 100 years of an elf's life, he was kind of out on the land and in woods, kind of like these, just learning kind of by doing, because he didn't really have any mentors. He learned a lot about plants and agriculture from his family, but didn't really learn about like wildlife living on the land until he kind of figured it out for himself. So he's about 260, which is still pretty young for an elf. And the feat that I have, I think, is Thorn Whip, if I understand correctly.
Nope. Thorn Whip should
Nope,
just be one of
okay.
the spells that you get normally.
Gotcha.
I
don't
might
see
not
the
have
feat
written.
there.
I might have not written the name of your feat, but the feat would have given you most likely some attribute bonuses and something else.
Oh, I see.
And you would have gotten it through your background guide. So I might have just
Gotcha.
like tossed it all in there for you.
Yeah.
That's great. So the one other question I want to ask you guys, and this is something we don't normally talk about, so you might have to answer kind of on the spot, come up with something. But the way I play D&D, we very rarely talk about alignment. And alignment's just simply like, how does your character live and work? So there's that idea of like lawfully good, chaotic evil, neutral. So if you guys are kind of thinking about your characters, are you out for yourself no matter what? Are you trying to kind of fight for good? You're trying to make money, but you're also like applying the law where you go. Jonathan, the last time you were playing like the most lawfully character ever with us, right? That police officer who all they wanted was something good to happen in the city.
You literally read the entire policeman's manual. You had like statutes and codes that you
I
were
love
reading
it.
off.
Yeah.
He would read it, and then everyone he met, he would read it to them.
Yes.
Who do
Do
you
you want
to
us
play
to answer
today?
this now, or you just want
Yeah.
us to consider this as we play? Because
I would love.
Okay.
I would love thoughts now if you have them.
So, like I said, I am I texted it in the chat, which is better than how I said it. I'm just bored of life at this point. I think it's all a bit bullshit, and that's because of partially my long life lived. I'm late in years, but that's also because of my background in College of Lore, which is to say that not only do I know a little about a lot of things, but also I tend to have irreverence towards figures. I tend to poke fun at people. I tend to see beyond the veil that they put on. And so just being this far into my life, I'm probably a cynic. I probably just assume everybody's out for themselves anyway, no matter what they say. I don't hold anybody in high esteem. So I'm just in this nice place of, I really don't give a shit, and it's not as important as people think it is. Now, that's not to say that there couldn't be some spark of real, genuine, pure whatever that could make me have a heart.
I'm gonna pull it out of him. I'm gonna pull it out of him.
So you
We're
might
gonna
be
make
like,
you love us.
you might be like chaotic neutral or true neutral right now, but there might be hope to get into that good area.
Nah, it's not.
Just pure chaotic. All right. Who else you guys thinking? Anyone else in that chaotic
I'll
or
go.
different? All right.
I was gonna go for chaotic good because I read that part of like Ardlings is that like because they're celestial, like their nature is more like they will do good, but a lot of like ravens when they're gods are trickster gods, so I wanted to go for chaotic good.
That's good. And what I would say, the way I've always defined it, chaotic good means you're going to do whatever you think is good, however you think it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Lawful will only do how other people tell them what is good.
Objective versus subjective.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, well, they're telling me that this is what I should do. I'm going to do it versus I think this is what I should do. So I'm going to do it no matter what. So that makes total sense. Jonathan, you got something?
Yeah, although it breaks the rule that you just made about, or like the guide of lawful they just set out.
Well, you could say what you think it is.
Yeah, I'll kind of explain what my thinking is. So lawful neutral, but this might end up being more like chaotic good in your description there. The idea is like, and this has changed over time for Aldred. So when he was growing up, he was more lawful good. He believed that there was a code that everyone should live by, that it was all ordered, and that life was kind of simple. But as he learned more about the land and how like nature does not follow those rules, he kind of adopted this idea that I have a code for me, but you may have a code for you, and nature may have its own code. Right?
Yeah, makes total sense.
He doesn't try to like push it on anybody.
Yeah, that might even be, you said lawful neutral, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would even maybe put that just in true neutral. Just like, hey, man, like everyone's doing their own thing. We're just going to keep doing our own thing.
But I don't want to lose, like, he has a conviction about it.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes total sense.
He wants to follow the code, whatever it is for him.
Maybe even the neutral good or just in that region. But everything you're saying makes sense. All right, Andrew.
I think mine's gonna be chaotic something. I'm out for myself, but at the same time, I'm going to, if I band, like with brothers, I'm a soldier. So like if I have a troop with me, I'm going to do everything I can to help that troop. Maybe not the greater good, but this immediate group of people. So I'm not afraid to charge into a battle. So I'm a little bit chaotic, but I'm not, how would you define that?
I guess I'm
going to look out for my people. And that's really all I care
about. Is the reason you're looking out for those other people because it will benefit you in the long run, or you're looking out for them because you care about them?
I'm looking out for them because I assume they're looking out for me. This is what we do for each other.
I think chaotic neutral probably makes the most sense.
Okay, then that's
you're doing whatever it takes to kind of keep yourself okay.
Yeah,
and that means like mutual trust.
Yes,
laws don't matter.
We get each other's. We do whatever we need to do. We get each other's backs. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right now you guys are leaving the tavern. I think we've got a good idea of our cast of players. You're standing in front of this wood. It is now maybe mid-afternoon, late afternoon. As you look through, as it would, right, the woods get darker and darker as you go through because of the canopy above. I don't know if any of you guys are kind of used, like that Lord of the Rings, northeastern English kind of wooded areas where the trees aren't huge, right? It's not big redwoods, but we're talking dozens of feet tall, and the branches are wide and kind of overhang and tangle in with each other. So what do you guys want to try to do? As it gets later, you start hearing noise, and it doesn't sound close, and it might be just echoes But out through the woods, you can definitely hear a drumming or a murmuring far out.
I will move ahead of the group stealthily. I'll try to go up quietly, just to see if I can see what I can see.
Cool. Do you want to
I
give
feel like we
me?
could use the woods to kind of be more sneaky and.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if everyone's trying to like sneak through the woods, potentially, so the dwarf rogue is kind of maybe leading the charge. So why don't you give me your stealth roll at advantage because you're doing that, and then everyone else give me a stealth roll. Actually, sorry, vice versa. Give me Andrew. Give me your stealth roll at normal because you're going out in front of everyone, and then everyone else can get me their stealth roll at advantage because you're purposely staying back away from kind of what you could trigger.
What if I don't care to be stealthy?
Then you can roll at disadvantage.
Natural 20 on my first roll, plus 7. So
Natural 20. So, like we said, new rules, things change, and you're going to tap into that number 1 first rule. Let me pull the rules up.
I just rolled a 20 as well.
Oh, you guys, you're taking advantage of this inspiration.
Give us those
I got
rules.
18.
So the main way a character gains inspiration is by rolling a d20, 20 for a d20 test. The DM can also award inspiration to a character who's done something that is particularly heroic or amusing, right? So that's that role-playing aspect.
Yeah.
But you guys get it because just like a d20 test, coming in with a ticker. Anytime you kind of roll a 20 for a skill check is a d20 test. So Aldred and Krentis, do you guys know how inspiration works?
Yes.
Cool. Just the idea of if you want to roll at advantage when don't normally,
You're
or
going
if
to
you're
tell
rolling
us anyway?
well for the room. That's what happens when you're not playing D&D for yourselves, but a crowd. But yeah, you can get rid of disadvantage or you can get advantage. So
Great.
pretty beneficial. So we got 2 20s. Where else we at?
I got a 22.
22.
18, sorry.
Great. Perfect. So you guys are all stealthing real well through the woods. And you're probably getting near a mile out at this point, right? It's probably 30 minutes of just kind of trekking through the woods. And the drums are starting to get louder, right? As the sun starts to set further, the noise starts getting louder. And now you can start also hearing kind of the grunts of dancing and just mischief over it through the woods. I'm assuming you guys want to keep going.
Yes.
Sounds like a
Well, I
party.
don't feel like we should
think-
charge into the orc camp.
yeah, I kind of would like to stop for a moment and make a plan.
I keep
telling
going.
you, it's
I keep going.
it's 3 people. I've seen this
I'm
before.
we can't make a plan till we know what we're planning again. So
Yeah.
I will keep moving ahead stealthily to try to figure out what's happening.
And we're not going to ask for another roll because I think you can kind of assume at this point is that the noise is so loud for you that it's got to be much louder for them. And it's getting dark enough where if you just kind of keep low, you feel like you can start kind of hiding in the shadows of the trees.
Yeah.
And as you approach, what you see is what must have been fairly quick, but felled trees, like a big ring of felled trees that they have kind of brought together for walls. And the axe marks in these trees are giant, right? This is
Great.
no little hand axe. Like these things must have been the battle axes that they were warning you about in their note.
Okay.
So
many
there's
people do
no
we
chance
see?
that they have a cave troll.
I do want to try to get up beside the entrance wherever this thing is that I can see, and try to identify how many of whatever this is in front of us.
Can we see over this
No,
wall,
so
or
that's
how
what I'm
high
just going
is
to say.
it?
They're big trees, yeah.
Big trees. So we're probably talking 12 to 15 feet for most of them. There's going to be some variation, but I would also say that it's not a sheer wall, right? So there's probably, if you were to try hard enough, you could probably climb up.
So I look over to the bird, size the bird up, and then I point.
Yeah, I think this would be a good time to
I actually could do that
jump
too.
to
I
the
have
top.
my athletics is like killer. I'm into that. That's one of the E's, one of the expert or whatever
I
you call
sit
it.
Yeah.
down.
So what do you
I
guys
don't know
who
if-
wants to try to go first?
I mean, I'm okay to use one of my angelic flight and jump to the top of the wall and kind of peek over it, and I can tell them what's going on.
Cool. So you want to do that? So, and I'm assuming you're going to kind of control yourself. So you just like peek over a little bit.
Yeah.
But what you see in there, and it's a fairly large encampment, right? So we're talking dozens of feet. So you might not be able to see everything in detail. But kind of that quick jump up and glance as you come back down, you did see 2 children in a cage. You saw a small cage with a couple giant dogs in it. And those dogs were eating something.
It's a small cage with giant dogs.
It's very tight. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It looks like something that they've probably been dragging with them, right? Like these dogs probably live in this cage. But what was the most shocking was that there was one orc playing a drum real slow, and you could see like he was struggling to kind of keep this beat up. And there was a couple other orcs talking amongst each other, just very loud and orcish. But there were also maybe a dozen orcs laying about dead inside of the village.
So
camp.
wait, you're telling me there was 1 orc plus 2 orcs alive?
So far.
Patrick's working with
I've
them. That's how he
seen
knows.
this a
It's an inside
dozen
job.
I'm gonna,
times.
as I'm telling him all this, if he says this to me, I'm like, I don't want to give you credit, but
All right. Okay. I don't need to go up and see that since she did that, right? So then I would.
so now we just need to find a way inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well-
what you see, just like kind of the building of it. Oh, one more thing you saw in that quick jump. There are also
Okay.
small kind of houses inside. Again,
Like houses or tents?
Like huts.
well, so they don't have fabric. It's all made out of trees. And
Oh,
you can
okay,
tell like
yeah.
they've just been cutting down everything. So perhaps the branches that they got from the giant trunk walls that they made, they have like small kind of wooden homes inside with one larger kind of group home, maybe where they eat their meals together.
So this is
Moonin.
like more like temporary housing.
Moonin,
Okay.
did the orc playing the drum look sad?
Extremely.
Was sad or weak? Or
Sad.
You
both?
look tired.
Tired. Weary, one might say.
Yeah, that's a great word for it.
Okay.
DM Will, is that a good recollection of what Moonin saw?
Yeah, absolutely. Struggling, I would say even.
My sentiment would be that we don't, if there's all of these houses, we don't know that there aren't more live orcs inside. But if we're gonna assume that there are three things to attack or that may attack us, I'm struggling between, do we attack one of the very like virile looking ones to weaken it so that we have 2 weak things and 1 strong thing, or do we kill the weak thing and just have 2 regular things?
It's possible. Now, would we understand that this is? Would I understand that this building is the work of these orcs? Okay.
Yeah. And you can see around that, like for Moonin to have jumped up, correct? She had to go through kind of a clearing of trees where they had been cutting down and then building inside.
So
you
the
could
the fact that so many are dead and the fact that this one is acting this way, I mean, there's kind of 3 options. One option is that there's only 3 of them and that this may be fairly easy. There's a second option, which is that this is a trap set by the orcs, and there's a third option, which this is a trap set by someone else who killed all those orcs and is forcing this one to continue playing. So it feels like those are the 3 options that we're dealing with. So how do you propose we find out which one of those options it is?
I don't think we know until we do it. We can't go
Is there-
ask them.
Is there like a break in the like wall around it, or like is it like fully?
What if
Like,
I
like
go
if we're trying to
ask
get
them?
in, do we have to go over the wall, or is there a gate, or like?
So there is a gate, and it's fairly large because these orcs, I would say the orcs on average are closer to 7 to 8 feet. Right, they're monstrous. So there is a giant kind of gate that they've fashioned, and you can see that it's kind of like ajar, where it might not even be able to fully close. It might more like be like 2 walls that kind of just pass each other with a gap in between.
So they built it in the shape of a jar. That's an interesting decision for people that are so good at building. I guess all trees are in the shape of a jar, in the idea that they're cylindrical. Here's the thing. They don't know that any of us are here. That means
Right.
they don't know that y'all are here. I'll just go knock on the door. I mean, I can find out what it is. Worst case scenario is maybe my best case scenario. But additionally, then whatever they decide to do, we steal the element of surprise because then y'all can react without them knowing you're there.
Maybe the element of
know that
surprise
you
could
don't-
also be us attacking them without them knowing we're there.
Well, we could have him distract them at the gate and then sneak over the wall and while they're like looking at him and attack from behind.
I'm fine with that too. Yeah, I'm good
I'm
with whatever. Let's just
confident
get
if
the
I've
action going.
survived this long, this will not be the death of me.
Okay. Then let's. I'm.
So you're
I'm
gonna
down for
go
that.
be the distraction at the door.
While that's
I-
happening, then we need to get around to the Moonin. Can you direct us to where you see the cage where the children are, so we can go over to that side and then
the
scale that wall?
I think it was in the center though, correct?
Opposite wall.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it's against
we
the wall. We just need to go to the other. Okay. So. So
But
I would
but
say.
then we won't be able to help Prentice if they
Okay.
attack him.
I'll be okay.
How far away is this thing? I guess it's
I
big
guess
enough
I don't
for
know.
houses
I guess
to be
maybe
there.
I'm envisioning
would
this
say-
camp maybe bigger than it is.
No, I would say it's a couple hundred feet probably.
Okay.
Again, because of their size, everything's going to be bigger than we would normally build things.
So it's less than a football field.
Yes.
Okay. We can get across a football field relatively quickly. I've got arrows.
Fuck.
You've got arrow. I think
I've got arrows.
I think
do.
we all have ranged weapons, so I think we're probably fine.
Just in the background, Red was messing with some rocks on the ground, and he cast Druidcraft to find out what the weather will be in the next 24 hours in this area.
Of course. Why don't you just ask Google?
How specific does that let you get?
Google Craft. That's a great question.
I like it.
You create a tiny, harmless sensory effect that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours. The effect might manifest as a golden orb for clear skies, a cloud for rain, falling snowflakes for snow, and so on. The effect persists for 1 round. Which
Cool.
We're not.
Yeah,
in
I would
motion,
say
so.
it's just.
How about he gets to talk to the like disembodied voice of Jim Cantori? That's how accurate it is.
We're just gonna say it's like a little foggy orb. No rain, but cloud coverage for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So we make our way around to the back. We need you, Krentis, to give us just like a little bit of head start so we can get around and over there. And I don't know if there's some way that we can signal to you that we're there. But maybe just give us like 5 minutes to get over there.
If we yelled really loud, could he hear us?
That would ruin.
That would
If
ruin
you
the
yell
element
really
of
loud,
surprise.
then the orcs will definitely hear you as well.
Because we were yelling
guess-
over
yeah,
them to
yeah.
get to
Here's the
I'm
thing.
wondering, because I have a raven head, if I can just be like, caw really loud. Like,
I am
like
very good at estimating time. I'll give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're good with rhythm. You're good at keeping time. You're very punctual.
yeah.
So I asked the group, can we just really quickly put our hands in the middle for just 1 second? And
yeah.
In this moment, I'm going to cast Guidance, which is apparently a cantrip, and it gives all of you a D4, and you can add that number rolled to one ability check of your choice. I believe once before the spell ends, and you know what? I may not be able to do this. I think the duration's only 1 minute, so
All right, maybe just hold off on that until we get down in there.
yeah, probably so. And
1
then
minute
I just say like,
is
well, it's still
10
cool.
rounds of combat.
And
So
Oh yeah.
but
So once we're in combat, one or
Yeah, but if
I
we're
also have guidance.
yeah,
we might not be into combat for a
that
few
1
minutes.
minute won't pass while you're waiting for
Exactly.
Magic's 5 minutes.
the D4 just goes, poof.
Well, you could help us get over the wall, basically.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I won't
Yeah.
need help getting over the wall. I have crazy athletics, and you can fly. I don't think
I can only
think we're
fly
fine.
one more time, so there's like a limit to the flights.
This,
All right, well, let's
this
take
felt
our
like I was
time
going to
getting-
give like bardic inspiration, but it doesn't last. Is what it is the problem.
DM will remind me the name of the town where we just came from.
Yes, 1 second.
Alverton.
That's exactly it.
Thank you.
I think
I'm keeping notes,
could
baby.
100%
I like this. I
cast
like
guidance
this
on
grim
us.
party.
Like the group of us that are climbing over the wall to boost us, like on that ability check. Like
Okay.
You can. I mean, that's fine. I don't think we're
if
gonna
you want
need
to,
it. But
yeah.
All right.
I mean, maybe I can do it like quietly as I give you the boost up on your foot. You know, this is just kind of like, oh yeah, got
Yeah.
it.
I turn
So-
around and say, "You've got 5 minutes to figure this out," and I begin walking.
All right. Fine. Yes, we go
So we-
back to the other wall. Yes.
So we're making our way around like the cut down forest part just to stay quiet, and then we get around to the back. Do we need to roll for anything, or can we just do that still with the same stealth check that we had before?
Just try and get to the other side.
Yeah.
Outside of the fence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, again, you realize that it's much bigger than you thought. The walls are much denser than you thought, so you don't even have to like work super hard to keep quiet.
Okay. Well, then we get back there, and then we're gonna try to get over this thing, right?
Is that
We'll
what you guys want to do before centrist?
Crentist?
Crentist?
I was like centrist. What?
Oh man, I did it again.
Yeah, we need to be up and ready so that we can see what's happening if he needs
Sure.
help.
Yeah. So let's.
in the very least, we need to get to the top and be ready to.
Cool. So you guys want to all give me an athletic roll?
Oh,
Yeah.
heck yeah, do. 18.
Plenty.
18 plus. Oh my gosh. 24.
Yeah, you're up there. You're good
Yeah.
to go.
3.
Perched atop the.
Do you have a dice tower?
wall.
Do you have a
I
dice
do.
tower, Red? Nice.
Nice.
Would Aldred like to use? I believe you got inspiration.
Ah, that's awesome.
You do have an inspiration.
Do you
Red.
want to use your inspiration this moment to get over this wall?
Yeah, probably. It's just a 9, so
I think a 9's enough.
marginally
I'm gonna
If-
reach down and cast guidance on him.
Well, no. So both of you guys went up there easy peasy. You're already
Yeah.
up. Do you want to give him
Oh.
a hand and just give him a
Yeah,
extra
yeah.
d20 roll?
Because
Let's do that.
I've got some strength that I can.
Oh man,
add to that.
both
Yes,
of you are gonna
yes.
put your arms down and like.
Yeah. Holding on and just. This is the best rogue I've ever played already so far. I can tell you. Like I'm
I do
way
like
excited.
the idea that Red doesn't help at all and goes fully limp like this.
Yeah, I'll reach down.
I rolled a 9. Nope. A
Oh.
straight strength check, right? So it would be 12. I rolled a 12.
Perfect.
I'm doing really good. 19.
Yeah, plenty. So after maybe a little bit of an embarrassment, you guys both like help grab his hands as he's starting to slip down the trees, and you pull him right up. And you guys are
Yes.
all kind of holding on to what are these kind of big like cone-shaped cutouts on the top of the trees, right? Like where they would have cut down at the base and then they would have put it in.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are all kind of there, and as you look down, you do see 2 kids kind of not moving. They're kind of just down in there, and you guys have more time because you're not floating. But what you do see is there's one orc still playing the drums slowly, and what you thought was just like 2 orcs potentially talking, you can see they're kind of doing some sort of religious ceremony with blood and like kind of painting blood on each other.
Okay.
I want to look down at the kids and try and see if they're alive.
Yeah, okay, why don't you give me, so let's try this. Let's maybe this would be a creature's ailment. So let's do a medicine check
Okay.
using
okay.
the search action. One DnD.
Oh no. So that would be a medicine check.
Yes.
That would be a big old 5.
You just don't know, right?
Yeah.
she used homeopathic methods to try to figure it out, and it was not sufficient.
The
From
good, the good
from
news
this
is
height.
the good news is in this scenario, even if you rolled a 1, the worst case scenario is you just don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
I kill the children.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
While peeking over, you fall in. Yeah, but at this height, you just can't tell, even if they're moving, but if anything, they're potentially sleeping or just sitting still.
5 minutes.
Okay,
And so now
Okay.
I begin walking in, and here's what I'm doing. I'm adjusting my pants. They're assless chaps, by the way. I'm just trying to act
You
casual.
just pull them up.
And then I look over to the guy and just ask him, huh, it's pretty nice construction. By the way, do you happen to know the way to Alverton?
How'd you get in there?
It's the walls kind of just do this,
Okay.
so you
Okay,
can kind of
okay,
just like
okay.
walk through.
Okay.
Um,
Like a pass through.
Yeah, and instantly these orcs clearly don't speak common or any language you would have spoken unless you speak Orcish. I don't think so though.
What's it say on your
Hey,
character
idiot!
sheet?
Which
Yeah.
way to Alverton?
Yeah, and as they hear you, like they slowly move and start grunting and then start reaching for axes down near them.
All right. How quick can they? So I'm gonna go ahead on myself. I'm going to cast Blur.
Okay.
I'll take an action to do that. So basically, for the next minute, they're going to be at disadvantage if they try to hit me. And then this is probably going to put us in combat. But because I see them reach for axes, I'm going to cast Color Spray as my first, basically aggressive action towards them.
Sure. So let's all roll initiative.
Okay.
Assuming DM Will lets me do all the things I just said.
I like it.
4.
I do not have my initiative on here, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
I'm
is our?
sorry.
low?
Initiative is 10 plus your dexterity. Sorry, guys.
10
What?
plus your dexterity?
I
Yeah.
believe
What?
so.
No, that would make mine. a
Then I have
31.
like 39.
No, you're right. Just your dexterity, I think.
One D&D
no.
has really buffed
You're
some
right.
things.
Never mind.
AC is 10 plus your dexterity.
If it's your
I'm sorry.
dexterity, then I have a 7 for my initiative.
I believe it
Apologies.
is your just.
That's fine. So 7.
Okay, 7.
I have a 19.
It's
Wow.
your what plus what? What'd you
I
say?
believe
Just
it's your dexterity
dexterity
plus
attitude.
your 20 roll.
I got a
Oh,
21 then.
okay.
21
I got a 4.
Ooh, okay, so Andrew was 4, Patrick was 7, Lauren, you were 19, and Jonathan, what were you at?
21.
Show off. All right. And I was right. Initiative is your dexterity modifier. Great. Okay. So we're going to start, even though Patrick only got a 7, we'll start with Patrick and then we'll start up at Jonathan. So you rolled Blur. You already did Blur. And you see as they watch you kind of like shape shifting, real like Dune-like.
Yeah.
They're wondering what's happening.
Yeah. And then I'm going to cast Color Spray.
Yes. And why don't you tell me what that does?
So it's a 15-foot cone that's going to come out for me. So I'll obviously move where I'm within 15 feet. Mm-hmm. And then basically I'm going to roll 6d10. And as long as the HP so start with the lowest HP orc that's in that cone.
Sure.
As long as their HP is lower than what I roll, I blind them and then I apply to the next orc. And if I still have enough
Yes.
points left over that it's lower than what I rolled, I would blind them and move to the next orc. So I'm just blinding as many as I can within my 6d10.
Okay. That makes total sense.
Okay. So let me roll these real quick.
Sleep is very similar to this. It's the most complicated way of determining a spell.
Yes, it is. Because I have that with my other part.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do I need to roll to hit or do I just get to take the action?
I would say you just get to take the action if you have to roll this, and sleep is the same way, unless there says there's a save. $60-10 is a lot.
60 tens.
I have
That's
a visual
600.
question.
Don't
to
talk
ask.
while I'm rolling.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
have a visual question to
Yeah,
ask
yeah, yeah.
while you're doing math. Sorry. So the top of the fence is like all like pointed, the tops of the
Like,
trees, and it goes like
roughly
all the way
cut.
around. Okay. Just trying to like picture it.
And what I would say, as he's still counting, the
done
big
counting.
house is like built into the side of one of the walls, and the other smaller homes are kind of just freestanding inside.
How far is that big house from where we are?
It would be you're facing kind of south now. It'd be to your left, maybe only 20 or 30 feet.
Okay.
So remember, I don't get partial effect.
Right. It
It's
has to
every
include all of them.
creature that's HP fully fits in
Yeah.
35.
Okay. 2 of the 3 orcs it applies to.
Great. So 2 of them are
Cool.
blinded.
Yeah.
Do we get to choose which ones? Could it be the 2 strong ones?
No, you start with just the 2 with the lowest HP.
I thought it was the 2 that like 2 came to answer the door, right? And the third one's playing drums.
So he kind of came into it, and they were all next to each other. And
But how many were at the door?
None were at the door. They were all near the drum.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So all of them stopped what they were doing and came to answer the door.
They converged.
Okay.
And so this only lasts for 1 round. So for their next turn, 2 of the 3 are blinded.
Perfect. And anything else? Was it just blinded?
It's just that's all it says is that they're
Blinded by the light.
It can be. I mean, blinded is good. I just wanted to make sure.
they're blinded. That's
Cool.
it. I don't know. They're blinded. That's what happened.
So you watch as the one who was playing the drums and was like looking for his axe just goes completely blind. And then one of the other 2 that were applying kind of blood in this like ritual thing, both of them already had their axes, but one starts like reaching around and you can tell those 2 are clearly blind.
Great.
Okay. Jonathan with the 21. You watch this magic show happen and blind, and the 2 are left just stunned and blinded.
Does he continue playing the drum?
No, they all stopped.
Okay.
Does something... Nope, not my turn.
Talking's always free, right?
We'll see how much talking's involved.
They changed that in the...
One DnD
right?
talking is frowned upon.
Talking is an action.
Talking is an action, yeah. It's an actionable offense.
Straight to jail.
All right, so here's the deal. I really badly want to shoot this drum. I just really do.
Just the drum? Go for it.
If there is just a really excellent aim, I would like to shoot.
Don't you have the special bracers for archery too?
I do.
And what I would say is, what kind of bow are you shooting?
The longbow.
Cool. Requires 2 hands.
Yep.
So you just need to get in a position where you're no longer hanging onto the wall.
Well, you're no longer just a noodle being held up.
Because all 3 of you, if I'm picturing this all
Oh.
right, you kind of all 3 are hanging on the outside of the wall. Still,
I pictured
correct?
this as like there are the spikes and like we're sitting
Yeah,
between them,
like
like
we-
your legs
like
on
we-
either
like a
side.
horse?
So you can, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost
So
like
you can
perfect.
see.
That
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Saddled up.
Then we're not
Yeah,
hanging.
wood jars.
Perfect.
Yeah, I
sense.
figured.
So-
I figured we were
perched
sturdy.
on top,
Yeah, because
yeah.
we were on these trees are large enough that we were sturdy up there, not just
Okay.
like waiting.
makes total
Yeah,
sense.
I'm
So you're all
picturing
kind of
big
like
fence. So yeah,
Yeah,
like
okay,
a horse,
cool.
exactly.
So
Plus,
then-
I wouldn't
yeah,
have been able to see the
straddling the
blinding.
fence. We are straddling the fence.
cool. Then that's perfect. So yeah, if you want to try to shoot from up there,
Yep, so I
it
pull
would
the-
be about 100 feet. So I don't know where that lands in your. It probably lands within just normal firing for you.
Yeah.
He has a longbow.
I don't think I
doesn't-
put I didn't
it
put him
doesn't
in there.
explicitly
Longbow
say
Don't
the
worry.
range,
Actually,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 200. That's
He's a
outside.
freaking
longbow.
awesome elf. He can do it.
yeah.
All right, once you-
So, and this will gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls on range attacks made with the longbow.
I whisper, "Shoot true."
It's. I don't think you can inspire me, unfortunately. And then I draw the bow back, or I kind of turn my body since I guess I'm straddled, and so it's like, it's kind of awkward. But I
cradle his buttocks to support him.
My intent is to go
You
through
just touch his butt.
the skin of the top of the drum.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a hand on top of the drum, I'd like to pin the hand onto the drum.
Okay, no, all hands.
Yeah, they're all
You're either
away from the
axed
drum.
or looking for axes.
Got it.
So
Okay.
the drum is abandoned.
Yep. Understood. All right. So so the idea is to ruin the drum as much as possible.
Yeah, of course.
If you get like a
And-
D20 to ruin this drum, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Like,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I got a 1. So
Cool. So again, like D20, the rules have changed a little bit regarding ones. Where'd it go? Rolling a 1. If you roll a 1 on the D20 test automatically fails regardless of any modifiers. So, we'll say you fire. The one who can see might notice it, but they're so preoccupied like what's happening in front of them. The two buddies are blinded, but you did just like land an arrow next to the drum.
So while I'm kind of blurred in this kind of like shape, I just do like this to Red over there.
At least I didn't hit you.
Lauren, your turn.
Okay. There's several things I would like to do. First, like while we're up here and we can like see those guys, I want to cast Hunter's Mark on one of the orcs.
Okay. I'm assuming the one that's not blinded.
Yeah. Let's go for the strongest one.
Okay. Is there any save on that or anything? No, right? It just happens.
It's like a spell, and then whenever I do attack it, I get an extra d6 of damage.
Cool.
So that should be useful. And then I want to get a rope out of my pack and like tie it around the log and like let it down so that we can get up and down near this cage where the kids are.
And we could say maybe you did that before all of this, like while you were up there. Maybe
That's
that was
very kind of you, DM Will.
Yeah, because that would be a long 6-second
DM
action
Cole
if we were
would
talking
never
about
let us do
this.
this.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I might not be able to do all of these things.
No, but
so
just say that you did it before.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, there's a
Okay,
rope
okay,
dangling.
so yeah, tied the rope down so that it's like dangling like from like the cone of the tree down to like where the cage is. Yeah. And then I'm going to take my longbow and take a shot at that orc that I cast Hunter's Mark on.
Yeah, so you watched this elf miss, and you're like, maybe I can do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do my best.
I'm gonna put when we go on YouTube, I'm gonna have to put like an adult warning now, or we're gonna have to pixelate your hands.
It's all Quintus' fault.
Can you blur?
For our friends across the pond, I wanted to translate.
Read between the lines.
I want to offend everybody. All right, what was that D20 roll at?
I didn't get. Do I add anything to it?
Yes, the modifier in the middle of the.
Yeah, your weapon modifier.
It should be dexterity
Attack
plus
modifier.
your proficiency bonus plus your D20 roll.
Okay, so 16.
16? Sorry,
Yes.
I
It's okay.
slowed down.
I was like, did I freeze or something?
No, you're fine. 16 hits. You watch as this arrow goes right into the back of this orc who is facing Quintus.
yes.
And let's add that D6 roll plus your
1d8
damage.
plus 1. Sorry, I have new dice that I'm not used to. I got 4 plus 3. That's 7 plus what? 8 damage.
I mean, it is noticeable. He staggers forward, kind of holding onto that axe, and like maybe lands like the axe onto the ground, and that's holding him up. And he slowly starts to raise. It's one of the blind orcs' turns, so they're just gonna start swinging that axe in your general direction at disadvantage.
But are they going to double disadvantage?
Why would they get double disadvantage?
I am blurred and they are blind.
Oh, so the third
yeah,
roll.
that
I would
is
have
true.
to Google.
I like that idea.
There is. I don't believe there is any
Roll
such
8
thing.
times, and whatever the lowest after 8
Listen,
times.
I got a
just
2. I got a 2 on it, so you're
You
safe.
could do a single disadvantage, but I'm just saying, like,
You earned double.
I might as well be covered in Crisco right now.
All right, Crisco boy, your turn.
That's a hint for later.
I have a question of clarity before
Yes.
Quintus goes.
We about Princess lifestyle.
They are blinded for a round. Does that mean as soon as they go, they can see again? Because I'm going to be the last
Patrick's
to go.
next turn, so they're going to be blind.
Okay,
for this
perfect. So
whole
they'll
thing.
be blind for me to still do my turn.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay.
All right, Patrick. What's Chapless doing?
It's my turn already?
Yeah.
You rolled a 7.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone rolled poorly, apparently.
There's a
Did
4,
Andrew go?
3 below you. No, Andrew
No,
rolled a
I'm
4.
I rolled a 4.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, so he kind of gets an extra one. Got it.
Yeah. Wait, no, who went
You know
first?
what? I'm
No.
gonna
Patrick
keep-
did.
I haven't gone.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I was like confused because Patrick is getting like another turn before
Yeah,
Andrew,
yeah.
but it makes sense because like he initiated everything. I got
Initiative
it now.
happened after his move.
Got it.
I just want to make everybody's life difficult, so I'm going to cast Shatter.
What is that?
Ooh, what does that do?
So basically, where that drum was, I get to pick a point of my choice, and since that's a musical instrument, it feels appropriate. And from that point, a loud, ringing, painfully intense noise radiates out. So
How far?
with it. It's only 10 feet, but it should
Oh.
hit. It should hit them, right? And everyone in that 10 feet has to make a Constitution saving throw. A creature that fails takes 3d8 of thunder damage and half as much on a save.
I love
Okay.
thunder damage.
We're
That's the
out
name of my.
range on
That's
that,
gonna
right?
be my new band, Thunder Damage.
That
So
should
let me-
definitely be
let me
Prentice's
roll-
band name after this.
So I've
He's
got to roll my
inspired.
3d8 no matter what.
Ass
And
was
then
thunder
you have
damage.
to tell me who passes or fails.
And it's Constitution, you said?
Yes.
And we are out of
Okay.
range on this, right?
Fail.
I think we're way out of range.
Succeed. Do you know what the save is? The spell saving throw should be, it should say on your spell page, I believe for you, it might be wisdom. Or no, it should be charisma. You're a bard. So,
Okay, so you want to know what the number is?
yeah.
16?
Okay, cool. So, one saved, the first one failed, the second one saved, the last one failed.
16 points of damage. So the
Cool.
ones that save take 8, and the ones that don't save take 16.
Cool.
Holy
So you
crap.
watch as two of them, one of the ones that Lauren hit, and just the other one that was doing the ritual. Both of the ritual orcs go straight down to the ground and limp.
All right.
The other orc, you watch as he like rallies his head. He's like, ah.
All right. And I do turn around so my ass is in full view.
And he goes, ah, again.
Everyone else.
Blinded again.
And I don't need to move. I mean, I'll stay where I'm at.
Cool. Andrew.
Wow, they rolled worse than me.
No, they died.
Oh, they're dead. That's right. Okay, that's right. Okay, so there's just one left. He's blind
And
it's-
hurt.
and hurt. This is the
yes.
one that Lauren. This is the one that.
No, it's that one
No.
died.
He made a
This is
swing
the drummer.
at Krentis, missed because he's blinded. Then his
is a
ears are ringing.
So the drummer is who's left, who was already weary and
Yes.
tired. Okay, I'm actually going to. Oh gosh, I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna drop down to the cage where the kids are.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my action to where is it? I saw this special thing in my third fast hands. I'm going to use fast hands to unlock the gate where the kids are.
Cool. What does fast hands do?
Fast hands.
'Cause I think that's a new one.
It's level. So you have additional options for the bonus action of your cunning action, in which you can do the following: you can search or take the search action, or you can sleight of hand, make a dexterity check, sleight of hand to pick a lock or disarm a trap with thieves' tools or pick a pocket.
Cool. What I would say is it's real ratchety, right? So I'm not even gonna have to do. You're not gonna have to do a test. Like you just get your hands in there and you realize it's kind of just like rope, and you're able to peel it apart pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and you swing that open.
Okay. Then I will. I'll go in and check on the kids. Go
Cool.
Go
You wanna
pick them
give
up. Let's
me-
see if they.
You want to give me a medicine check?
Yes, I do. I've never done that. I would love to do that. Here it goes.
Right. So in classic D&D, I would have just done an investigation check on their bodies, but now I
Yes.
have rules.
Yeah.
I like
11.
Hey.
Oh,
11.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get up to the first child and you feel no sense of life. It's just
Aw.
corpse. And as you look to the second, you would imagine it as well. They both look identical.
Okay. I'm going to. Can I finish? Since that was a. Can I use my bonus action to pick them up? Like put them on my shoulders?
Sure. And we'll say maybe you're doing that while Jonathan's taking his turn.
Okay. Cool.
So Jonathan, you're top of the initiative order. You've already missed one arrow. There's an orc.
He wants just to remind you you did terribly the first time.
Oh, so this is an interesting thing. Patrick was out of initiative when he blinded them, but Patrick used his turn, so I think they would both. The one guy would be able to see again.
That's not true. I used blur when I was out of initiative. Oh, wait.
did-
I mean, I would have.
You did blur
initiated.
and color spray out of initiative.
Yeah.
We entered
I see what you're
initiative.
So now they can see.
I imagine the one can see.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
And what he can see is your full uncovered butt.
because it has passed me again. So
Now the question is,
he can see now.
Ass
you're a
again.
dwarf, right?
Me?
Andrew is.
I'm a dwarf. Yeah.
Crentist. Oh, okay. Sorry. What is Crentist?
No, Crentist is
I'm a human.
A human.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So just a bear man's tookus.
Tookus.
Not even an exciting tookus.
Not even exciting. I was going to ask how
Hold on.
hairy.
Question. Am I allowed to say tookus, or is that considered appropriation? I just need to know.
Considering it's an 80-year-old, I think tookus is extra appropriate. Like,
It is probably the only appropriate way to refer to it.
All right, Aldred. What is Red doing?
Looking at that thick.
How is that? How is
Roll at
that
disadvantage.
orc responding to his newfound consciousness?
Shocked by the sight in front of him.
Fearful, shocked? Like, can I tell?
No, but you could imagine, you could see past this giant orc and see a bare butt pointing at him, so you can tell there's
okay.
something happening.
I would say whatever you're feeling is probably mirrored on the orc right now.
it's probably mutual.
I would like to ready an action.
Okay.
Do I have to be specific?
No one's gonna kill this orc that's standing in front of you, completely visible.
I'm gonna chop my head off on that.
What is
one.
your action?
I'm ready to help
What is your
whenever
action?
it's my turn again.
I just want to aim my bow directly at that orc. And
No worries. So it's very much like and you're a programmer, so you'll understand this. It's like an if-then statement. So what is
Yes.
the if to your shooting an arrow?
If he makes a kind of a malicious move
Towards Crentist?
towards any of our party, or
Okay. So yeah,
or
if he gets-
really
if he-
any living being in the area, I think
Okay.
is the way I would think about it.
Cool. So if he
That's-
just starts
that's right.
attacking, you're going to shoot an arrow.
Yes.
Cool. Lauren, you are after Red.
Oh, so you did not shoot this last
Ready
sword?
is kind of skipping your turn, but having an action that will automatically trigger if something else occurs. So
Yeah.
if this orc attacks someone, his action will go first.
Oh, okay.
You can do that too, Lauren. By the way, that's not just like anyone can do that at any point. You can ready an action.
Basically, like draw guns.
Ah, okay.
Often,
Yeah.
like if you're trying not to kill someone, you're trying to interrogate someone, you're like, I'm going to ready an action to kill him if he moves.
Yeah.
And then if he moves, your action would automatically take action.
If he attacks, then I respond in like that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Assuming I
Yeah, I
don't
totally
get a
get it. I'm trying to decide why you didn't want to just kill him, but I guess you want to ask him something. So,
Well, because he looks. I mean, my reasoning here is just that he looks vulnerable. It's we don't really have a way of talking to him, but it might
that's
make
true.
like he might end up like surrendering, and then we have collateral or something. That
just
we
out
may
of
need.
curiosity, can I use speak with animals to like talk to orcs, or is that like
No, and it's
that is not how
extremely
that
racist.
works? Okay.
Did you say it's considered racist?
It's extremely racist.
As an animal
to take down
person,
the
I don't know
stream
how this like balances out. You know, like there's a lot of weirdness.
Just because you're a Raven person doesn't mean you can't be a racist.
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna do the same thing then. Like seeing that he doesn't want to kill him makes me think that we should keep him alive for a certain reason.
Cool.
So I'm gonna also aim my bow, and
both
I will-
rangers are kind of like at draw.
Yeah, and I'm gonna follow Red's lead on this one.
So your if then statement, your ready state would be if Red shoots his arrow, you shoot your arrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes
You're
sense.
both
Support.
knocked and ready to loose.
Can I?
Can I also want to like yell down to? I'm sorry, Andrew's character. I keep forgetting your name.
Quaxley.
Quaxley, and say like
Quaxley.
what's going on there? Like, is he do?
I'm not gonna yell back. I won't yell back. I don't know
Okay,
who
so-
else is down here. So if you're
Yeah.
yelling, I'm not responding.
Okay, then
That's good. You readied your action. You yelled down. It would then go to this orc's action, which I mean he's going to immediately try to swing his axe at Crentist. So both of you can give me your D20 rolls.
Yes, because you have to attack him now.
yep, that's fine.
16 for me.
Yeah, that hits.
I think I got 19 with my bonus.
So 13 damage.
Perfect. And what we got from you, Lauren?
Oh, it's just a regular one. Sorry. 8.
Cool. You watch as Red's arrow, your arrow's like right behind Red's arrow, and Red's arrow hits the orc, and the orc starts falling down. And as he does, like your arrow hits again on the back on the way down. So this orc now has 2 arrows. 2 arrows, and he was shattered. So there are now 3 orcs kind of dead in the vicinity of Krentist. Things have quieted down. Obviously, there's no more drumming. There's no more of this like ritual they're sounding off. There are still the 2 homes in the big kind of lodge section. And we're out of combat.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk.
Are we out of initiative?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna walk
they're dead.
up to where this orc is laying there with 2 arrows. I'm gonna turn so my ass is towards these 2 that just didn't save me, that like waited. I'm gonna bend over to retrieve their arrows from this orc's head, and then let them know I have their arrows for them.
Yeah, I got your arrows.
Okay, and here's what I'm
Are
gonna do.
you like doing this with your butt cheeks? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
Red
Ventura
Power
style.
squat.
Like
I don't
clenching
understand
them
what
and
just
then
took
pulling it
so
out.
long.
Yeah,
I just put on a performance that I've been honing for
Okay.
80 years.
I'm walking out. I'm walking out of this cage with these 2 children, and I look. There's no. It's right. So I'm looking, and I'm gesturing with my hand. Right. I've got
Yeah.
2 kids on either shoulder. You guys don't know what's happening with those kids yet, but they're draped over my shoulder, and I just do this so that we stop doing anything that might make noise and start ushering. Like, I've got the kids that are going to help us get our $200. Like, I have the thing that is going to finish the quest. Let's just get the heck out of here. And I try to communicate all of that with
Hand signals.
Yeah, like let's just take
so
the kids
I'm
and
gonna
get out
I'm
of
gonna
here.
walk toward. I'm gonna walk as quickly and
We've got
as
the rope
discreetly
hanging
as
down, so
possible.
you can use
I'm not
that.
going back up. I'm gonna meet Patrick, and we're gonna go out the front. I'm not gonna climb back up with these 2 children.
Hey, Patrick, could you give me a D20 roll to make a perception check?
I can. 1 second.
Let me say, it's kind of wild that we've gone this far, and I think this is our first perception check.
I know, because there's so many checks to do now.
I know.
Yeah, we did like a medicine instead of perception check before and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, 12 is fine. You watch as these like 2 kids are kind of just on the shoulders limp. What you notice immediately is that none of them have like cut marks or anything. They just look like 2 normal bodies that were in this cage.
Okay, I'm gonna keep walking toward him as quickly and as quietly as possible, and meet
guess-
up with him, and we go back out the way that he came in, and get out into the dark area where we can be under the cloak of dark again before we assess anything. That's my goal. Get out of here.
The insinuation being that we believe they're dead, and yet
Well, just looking around, everything else was like cut marks, right? Even the orcs are bruised up and beat up. Nothing is nice in here. These 2 children were seemingly like
Pristine,
untouched.
Just
Yeah.
dead. Just
Okay.
seemingly dead.
so
Can we meet up outside the fence then?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
my
gonna
goal.
connect with Quackerjack over here. Let's like lay them. Let's like put them over here, and I'm gonna like fucking slap one. I don't know, like see if
But is this-
like
You're
there's
You're going
any
to
life.
what? You're going to what and slap them?
I'm just going to slap them, and there's an adjective to describe to what degree I'm gonna slap them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which is with vigor.
Stop doing the hand motion.
Are we all?
Fast hands.
Did they take the bodies outside of the fence area?
Yes,
or are you
we're
still,
no
okay,
longer
just
in
making
there.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to like take the rope down and climb down and meet them like to the other side and then like meet them and so we can help with
This
the...
is essentially we're going back to where we set the original plan on the outskirts of the of those
Exactly,
things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Can we do the thing where like you're trying to see if a kid's still breathing, so you put like something like in this case probably be like a knife under their nose to see if they're breathing?
Yeah, I think it would just
Where
be
you
like
see the
another
fog?
medicine check.
Just put
Yeah.
it in
Let's
here.
hope they don't wake up and like sit up into the knife though.
Okay, like that would be
Are you breathing?
we're not leaving it there for
Well,
a long
they were.
time.
At
Who's
the same
doing
Five
Right.
time,
again.
at the same time, I would like to cast detect magic.
Cool. So for Moonin, they seem dead, right? Like
Yeah.
everything that Quaxley saw before, he seems to have done his medicine check well. Both of you have every reason to believe they're for sure just dead.
But they may have been poisoned or something else because they weren't killed by
Yeah, it
a
could be asleep.
a stab
something like
wound.
that.
This is a Romeo
Or
and Juliet
I would say
situation.
they weren't killed by barbaric means,
Yes.
right?
Something creepy because they were doing a ritual.
Jonathan, can you give me what detect magic actually does? I'm sorry.
It says it
That's all
answers
right.
whatever question you want answered.
I don't know if there's a special version for One DnD. Probably not.
Just search detect magic, and you can just do
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
Yep. So for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. And the way I have always imagined this is like different colors for different
Sure.
schools.
Yeah. What I will say is, so you're looking at the two bodies, and there's no magic seen, no aura.
Okay.
Now,
And
did we
I,
get
I,
our
I
gold?
let everybody know that. It's
Yeah.
Did we ask if we get our gold dead or alive?
No.
No, we didn't.
They just want
I
their
mean,
children returned to them.
To
Well,
be honest,
they wanted
Prentice-
two things. The main thing was for the orc threat to be extinguished.
Okay, we have. Listen, I don't. Leave the kids here. We have to go make sure there's nothing in those. I think it was 2 buildings. Let's just go clear those 2 buildings. Then we're gonna take these kids, go back and get our 200 gold.
I'm good with that. Can we tie them up? Let's tie them up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just in
you have
case.
the rope.
Actually, you know what?
Honestly-
No, I'm not going to tie them up because everything we've
Maybe-
done makes them appear that they're dead. I have no reason outside of this being a game. I have no reason to believe that anything is going to happen to these children.
Not to
So
mention
I'm
they
just
were
gonna,
in cages, which means that they were at a place of like weakness. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
So, like,
why would they keep a dead body in a cage?
No, they died
this
once
is
they
like
were in the
Hocus
cage.
Pocus
I don't know.
3. I
But
don't
I
know.
wouldn't. If you want to tie them up, great. I'm not going to tie them
No.
up.
I have,
'cause
an, I have an idea. I have an
wanna
idea.
hide them.
I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on one of them, which means I can track them later if they
Ooh.
run away.
Great. That's great. I like that.
So first off, I love that.
Inspiration?
How long?
Inspiration?
How long is Hunter's Mark? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It says up to 1 hour.
It's the first time
That's
that Will has
amazing.
given inspiration for
That's
it.
amazing.
That is a
It's
good.
so like I'm gonna keep an eye on them.
Yes.
yeah. See, that's
Boom.
great.
It's
That's
not
so.
as
so
cool,
good.
but I will cast
Thank
it on
you.
the other one as a
Yeah. Hey, I copied what you did in the last round, so
We got a couple of
Red's
real
like, that's the
doozies.
most
you want to like
excited
hang out
I've
with after
ever
this
seen
Red. It
Will.
seems like we have similar philosophies.
Red does it, and he's like, "Where's my inspiration?"
That would be cool.
Oh, that was
Okay,
good.
yeah, then we'll pull them over out of the way, so at least
Yeah.
they're hidden, right? Like out of the main path, or if there even is one.
Yeah,
but
I don't
just
want them to get like
so-
eaten by animals. So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
At this point, I'm
Protected
annoyed
enough.
and I'm done with my performance, as it were. I take out my short sword and I start marching towards the first half.
And I'm with them.
Yeah.
We're
Just
right
real
behind.
briefly,
Yeah.
Red would have hidden these with like camouflage, like as if they were.
So we're probably
Sure.
30 to 50 feet ahead of Red because he's
Which
doing
is
that.
fine.
While
I'm
we're
gonna
just
I'm gonna
charging
stay
ahead.
with Red though, because like we obviously like took time to like pay attention to them. So
makes
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
fine.
So you guys
We're
both
just behind
enter,
you.
and again, the things that you see just in the space. There's that drum that's now destroyed, shattered. There's
They're
a
still
couple of
dogs.
small campfires, but they're mostly embers. There's a cage of dogs, which would be like nonstop barking.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 small kind of huts, and then 1 big sort of lodge.
Yeah. Let's go check out. I say we go check out the first one that we come to.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
talk to the dogs too. Or do you have that, Red?
I don't.
Well, we're
think
in
so.
there. We're in
I
there
don't think so.
first, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
okay,
I would
sorry.
assume
They're only
Yeah.
30 feet behind you.
I would assume
Right.
both of the rangers have very similar things.
Yeah, but I don't
because there's only one subclass.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Some might
fair
say
enough.
almost identical things.
Yes,
Some might
yeah.
say they
It's
were
not
identical,
identical.
and so
It
you
might
asked
not be
him to
identical,
remove
but
them.
almost everything should be the same.
Yeah.
For you might have gotten speak with animals because of the cape. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay,
I do
so
have
you guys
it, yeah.
both go into that first room, kind of sword already, and as you kind of just move what was very kind of like a tanned leather, you move that across. All you see are more dead orcs laying in here with their big axes kind of nearby.
Okay. That's fine. Let's go to the next hut.
I'm gonna grab one of the
Are
axes.
they like visibly like marked or like chopped up or just like mysteriously dead as well?
I would say all of the orcs look damaged, right? They've been doing
Okay.
these raiding parties for a long time.
Okay.
They look
okay.
like orcs, but just dead.
Just big, dead, bruised up orcs.
Is the axe something that I can carry as a dwarf? It sounds like it should be.
Sure. It's going to be larger than most things, right? But
Yeah.
the weight will not be an issue.
Okay, then I'm gonna grab an axe. Do I need to look up what the stats are for that?
Look up Great Axe.
Great axe. Okay, cool.
And I'm gonna.
that's it.
We're not in this room, right?
No, you
We're
guys are
right
kind of
behind them,
You'd be
basically.
kind of like in the main section at this point, I think.
Cool.
I have a feeling you would see me coming out of the first hut while you're coming in. I'm gonna immediately go to the next small hut because my assumption is small hut's got nothing. Big hut's gonna have some shit. So I'm just trying to clear the small hut before we all inevitably go to the big one.
Yeah, and the other small hut is very similar. There's just one dead orc with their axe, and then there's piles of treasure that they've probably gotten from other villages. So kind of just like little gold coins, goblets. Nothing huge because they've been going through small villages like Alberton. But there is some wealth in here, around 50 to 100 gold worth of stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk out real quick. What would I do?
I want to cast Speak with Animals and talk to the dogs that are in the cage.
Cool. Can you read Speak of Animals for me? Just so I know how much speaking.
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited to their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you. That's at the DM's discretion.
Cool. And One DnD actually has rules for that now. Dope. Okay. So what do you want? You would start the conversation with these guys. What do you want to say to these big old dogs?
Okay, since they are sweet puppies, I'm just gonna be, hey guys, and try and talk to them like you're trying to win over a dog. You'd be like, can you guys tell me how your friends died?
Yeah, and the barking quickly stops, and almost like a confused look. You know, that kind of like side to side head thing dogs do, right? And they look at each other because this is the first time anyone has ever like spoken in a language they can understand.
Yeah. I can give you snacks if you tell me how your friends died.
Yeah. And they're like down. And what you can probably tell is like the bowl that they've been like licking at is empty. And who knows how long they've been in this cage. The drumming has been here going for days, but like who knows how long before that. And they're like, yeah, we have no idea what's happening. There's something in the air, though. Like, we can smell something in here, but we haven't been able to see anything. But all of a sudden, orcs just started going down.
That's not good. What were you guys eating before?
And there were, like, just meat. Like, generic meat from the woods.
Did the
Generic
orcs...
meat.
And maybe
some-
humans. Who knows? We're dogs.
Did the orcs do something, like, in this circle with the drum that caused the smell? Or did you notice it after a certain point? Like, did something cause it?
Yeah, they said it started, days ago. They don't have a good track of time.
Moonin.
It's been a while. But they know that the drum started after.
Moonin,
People started dying.
Ask them what's in the big hut.
I will ask them that.
Yeah, and they're like, that's just like the leader, like the big boss.
And he
Let's
died
go
too.
fuck up the big boss.
Is he still in there? I wouldn't hear this.
Have we seen him before?
The big boss isn't out here.
Oh, very good. When's the last time that you saw him?
Days.
Ask him how long ago. So all the orcs died days ago.
They've been dying.
Oh, so they didn't all die at the same time.
Aren't we all?
Did they die one by one or all together or all
Exit
Tell them
like
that
in
check.
they're
groups?
dying.
Just one by one.
Will, let me ask you this: can I roll to basically see that like decomposition lines up with all these things? Like, do all these things seem like they're at the same level of?
I guess
Beaten
this would be
up?
like another medicine check, potentially. Right? That sounds... Creature's ailment? Let's do that.
That
The
makes
idea is
sense.
just to know.
Or I would
Or-
say survival.
Or acrobatics.
I was like, just don't let me roll it because I've just had bad luck with this.
Yeah, I do survival or medicine, whichever one's better for you.
And I can assist with this if I don't know, Quintus. You probably wouldn't have said anything to me though. So
No,
I
it's
have,
a 12.
I have another question. Are these like normal dogs or are they like orc dogs?
They're not like wargs.
Okay,
D&D would
yeah.
call them a mastiff, so a very large dog.
Okay.
But it looks like a big dog, kind of like with mange, right? It's not a well-kept dog that would be in the house. Like this dog is never seen indoors.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want them to have to stay
12,
in
you just think they probably died around the same time.
Around the same time, but this has been going on for like days.
Right. But
gonna ask-
a 12 is not high enough to know, like,
Major decomposition doesn't happen in that amount of time.
I'm going to ask the group if there's anything else that they want to ask the dogs.
No, here's the thing: we're gonna go in that big hut and we're gonna kill whatever's in there. The only
Assuming
thing,
it's not already dead. It may have
I
died.
thought you went
from
in there
this.
and it was
No,
dead
no,
and there was
we've
the
gone
gold.
into two small
No.
huts. We're gonna go in the big
Oh.
hut. The deal is, if this is some undead orc situation, it's just whether or not we're taking the time to take all the weapons and move them into a big pile somewhere fucking else. But if
We
we're
wanna,
not
like-
taking the time to do that, let's just go in there and kill whatever's in that big hut.
We could
Yeah.
shoot all of the orcs that are lying dead and, like in the head.
I don't want to do that.
Zombieland
can,
style.
can we ask
Like-
the dogs if they'll help us if we free them?
Yes, can I ask them that?
Oh dang.
yeah, and they're like, do you have food?
Yes.
We can
Whatever
get
need
you
is
food.
Yeah.
We will get. We will.
And they're
get you
excited.
food, yeah.
And while you're talking to them, Moonin, you feel something almost like grab your foot.
Oh, I'm going to look down and see if I see anything.
No.
Can I like brush it away?
Sure. And you don't feel
happens?
anything.
All right. I come out
Guys,
and I
something freaky
join
grab my foot.
Crentist. I'm
Something
going.
grab
I'm
your
following
foot?
Crentist.
Yes.
Red looks down to see if he sees anything. I assume he does not.
No.
All right, and he
I'm
would
gonna,
probably immediately cast detect magic again.
Yeah, nothing. No aura.
All right, I'm gonna
I'm
go.
gonna kind of
I'm-
stomp my feet and move to the other side of the cage, and then dig in my pack to see if I have food, give it to the dogs, and then open their cage.
You would have some sort of rations. I would throw. I'll toss over my rations to you too.
Yeah,
Just to,
but-
if that's gonna win over the dogs. But I'm going with Crentist into
Me and
this hut.
Quaxley are on the way to bust in the door in the big hut.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Yeah. So as you open that big door, it's is much nicer than everywhere else you've seen. There's sort of like rugs and carpets kind of billowing throughout the space, and in the back center you see an orc which probably reaches around 10 foot, also just laying limp in a giant chair.
Great.
I walk over to him to cut his head off.
Yep. Same. I got this great axe. Let's do it. You go
Cool.
one side. I go the other.
I don't even need a check. Just go for it.
Are the rest of us like also there?
Wherever you
No,
want to be.
You're
You can stay
you're
wherever
out
you
there
want.
getting dogs to help you. I'm
Okay,
about to
I was
chop
like,
a head
I
off.
was assuming we got the dogs to like come with. I would be standing at the door with bow ready,
I think
like to back
think
them up.
Red probably is checking on the health of these dogs and like
Cool.
trying to help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Moonin, you feel
I'm-
another grab at your leg.
Which one? Moonin does.
Yeah.
So it's only Moonin. So I don't have to worry about it. Just kidding.
Honestly, like, if
I'm gonna
from a
tell
split
everybody that
perspective,
that's-
I'll make more gold if she dies.
That's funny.
Such a
Is
dick.
it? You said that we didn't have to even roll a check. Does that mean that we've cut his head off?
Oh yeah. You have a battle axe,
So
and he's just a dead
head-
body.
His head's gone. Great.
Does
Okay,
he
I'm
look
gonna-
like the king?
Yeah.
ruler?
He's much larger than the rest.
Can you ask the dogs? I don't know how long the spell lasts. Ask them. Well, we're not in there,
I-
so we don't. We
I had
don't
10
know that this
minutes.
is happening.
Is that
Well, yeah, we're not.
Okay,
in there,
I just
so-
I just look around to do a quick perception check, not like a major investigation check, but like a quick perception of if there's anything of value that is quickly like I can grab quickly that we can then take back with us.
I would say it's like some of these blankets and things look nicer than anything you've seen, right? These are things that have probably come from far away. While you're looking at those, 2d6. 1, 2.
Uh-oh.
7. You take 7 damage, Moonin. And it's necrotic damage, as if part of your leg is being drained.
Okay, I'm gonna like
and-
scream and tell everybody what's happening.
Sorry, not yet. You take 4 damage to your strength. So
What does
reduce
that
that
mean?
big number. So what is your current strength's big number?
6.
So now it's 2.
No.
Sorry. 3.
Nope. What's the large? Sorry, not large in size. The big.
The bigger of the two numbers.
the higher value on the left on.
So
your
not the
primary
modifier.
strengths.
Yes.
Oh,
Passive.
17.
Perfect.
So now it's
that number
13.
sounds much better.
Okay,
It is
I
now
like it.
13, which means your modifier is down to 1.
Do you
can I-
communicate this to us?
Yeah, I'm gonna like scream, and then like I still have the like longbow drawn, so I assume I like point it at my feet. Can I do like an investigation to like figure out what's attacking me?
Yeah, let's see what this could land under. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know which kind of investigation this would be now because there's new rules.
Does
Yeah,
she
I think it would be Arcana.
Okay.
Because that now checks spells, magic items, eldritch symbols, magic traditions, planes of existence, and certain creatures, aberrations, constructs, elementals, fays, and monstrosities.
15.
Oh, yeah. As you look down at this thing grabbed you, what you see is the shadow being cast from your body is moving on its own.
Guys, we have a huge problem.
You have a
shadow's
huge
trying to
problem, but
kill
yeah.
me.
Are you attacking yourself? That's table talk, I guess.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna go over and I'm just gonna try this. I'm gonna try to whack the head off of her shadow with my great axe.
Cool. Give me an attack.
And is it considered a sneak attack since it doesn't know that I'm going to do it? Because that gives me advantage.
Yeah, I would also say it's also attacking something already, so it's in combat.
So either way, it's a
Yeah.
sneak attack.
Yeah, you get
baby.
advantage.
All right, that means that 21.
21 hits. Yeah.
Oh no, 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so it hits, and then with a hit, I gotta get a new dice because this bad boy is a bad boy. Here we go. 10 slashing damage.
Yeah, so you take your axe down, or was it sword? Which one were you
It's
using?
my great axe.
Yeah, as you're swinging it down, you watch as it chops into the shadow, and the shadow reacts. And as it does, this figure of a man comes out of the shadow vertically, and it's just a skinny, gaunt shadow. Like, you can see through it, and it's almost wispy and ghost-like. And let's roll initiative.
Yeah, baby.
And,
Here we go.
and I guess just to make our lives easier, as this happens from the main lodge in the crevices along the bottom in those little shadows, you watch as 2 more of these shadow figures kind of come out from the building and stand.
Okay.
22.
15.
Oh, hey guys. I don't want to alert anybody, but boo boo boo. Oh wait.
You get your inspiration.
Well, so
I got 17.
Oh, but it's not a 20 check, is it? Or like a whatever you call that.
a D20 test encompasses the
D20
main
test.
D20 rolls of the game, ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws.
Yeah.
So
you
But I
said
still
go
rolled a
first.
natural 20,
right,
which is
still
fantastic.
great.
Yes.
But yeah, this is just the one D&D rules we're trying to figure out. Okay, so what was that with your modifier?
With the modifier, it's a 22.
Okay, so you are matched with Jonathan, so you guys can figure out, just have a conversation.
Okay, I'll go
Lauren.
first.
Yeah,
Lord,
that
what do you
sounds
want?
right.
What's your roll at?
I got 17.
Well, I would think I would, since I'm the one who swung the axe down. Like I'm actively like in this, right?
And Krentis, did you
Yeah.
get 15?
Yes.
Cool. I had written that down. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Unless you want to
Also,
roll.
while we have a second, I did draw your character, Andrew.
Oh, can we quickly just like bring hers up main so we can see that
here
in a
we
little
go.
more
Oh, sure.
detail?
Let's check that bad boy out.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
that is
I love that
fantastic.
mustache.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Is
Okay.
it considered explicit if you draw the assless chaps?
It depends which side you draw them from.
From the front, no.
Draw
the
me getting the
side?
arrows out of the orc's head.
All right. Andrew,
Yeah.
you get the first move. There are now 2 shadow figures, one that you just attacked, and 2 others that just appeared from the wall.
I'm gonna attack that same one again.
And you got 17 on that last hit, was it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wait.
Nicely.
No, 7. Sorry. It was 7.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
10. I rolled a 7 and I got 3, so 10. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
And 18.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you destroy it. As it stands, you take your
That's
axe
not
and
how
kinda
much
go-
hit. That's not how that was to hit.
Oh. All right. I was like, that's so
Oh,
much.
man.
It hits.
That does hit though, I'm guessing, yes?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So now I roll to hit.
I was like, that was so much damage.
Oh, but I am about to do so much damage. 14.
Perfect. Why don't you explain it then? As it starts standing, you get to swing
Yeah.
your axe at it.
I swing my axe and I kind of come at an angle, like a cross angle down, and I slice it from shoulder to like mid thigh, and I just watch it peel apart like a floppy, shadowy banana peel.
Perfect. As you do, something you wouldn't notice, but a little flavor. When you go back to that child, one of their shadows is like reappearing.
We aren't there though, right?
No, but like you will see
Yeah.
it later. I don't want to
Okay.
forget.
Okay. All right.
Oh, because he killed this one, though?
Yes. All right,
Okay.
Jonathan.
Yeah, I think when I see the success of the attacks, then that's convincing enough for me. I pull the longbow out, and I look for my dice. There it is. And I think I'm going to aim at
I know what I
The
should have
drum.
done.
yes, at the drum. Where is the where are the other two?
The two
located
shadows,
relative-
they're just
relative?
exiting the big lodge, like the wall of the lodge. So not from the interior. They're kind of coming out, protruding from it.
Am I correct that there's like no resistance between these two? So like if I shot one, the arrow's not going to stick in it, right?
Right. You would
Okay.
assume that there's a good chance it's going to go through it into the wall.
I would like to align myself so that I can do a like double shot on
Okay.
these.
Let's
All
try it. We'll probably do. This is what we'll do. We'll do roll your
Roll to
first
hit
one,
both.
and then roll at disadvantage for the second one.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that is a 24.
24 hits, and then disadvantage.
Yep. Yeah, that one's a 9.
Don't worry. It just something in the shadow caught it, and it kind of went off a little bit.
Yep. Okay. And then looking at my shapes here. All right, cool. Ooh, max damage. So that's 15.
Oh, you watch as it like juts around. It's like holding its chest, and you hear like this kind of ethereal scream lurch out. Lauren, the one that was attached to you, it disappeared as the blade cut through it. It like hit the ground and just like turned into smoke.
Do I have
What
a
would you
shadow
like?
anymore?
You always had a shadow.
Well, I didn't know if my shadow disappeared because of
No,
this,
it was
like,
just
some weird
manipulating
curse.
your shadow. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, your shadow's
okay.
good.
I was just curious. Okay, so there's one more left, basically.
2 more. The one that was screaming is still alive.
Okay. I don't think I'm in a position where I can shoot both of them. Am
It's
I?
just not attached to you anymore.
No,
that-
what I would
that
say,
one's dead,
Lauren,
but then the other two, I'm
All right.
not really sure where they are
to
compared
get into
to
a
me.
position where you could, you'd be opposite of Jonathan, taking the risk of also shooting Jonathan.
Okay, no,
so
I wouldn't
just
want to
hit
do that.
one.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
I aim at Jonathan.
This is a one-off, right?
Right.
How close are they
nothing to
together?
lose.
The two creatures?
Roughly 15 feet away from each other, kind of on opposite sides of the main door to the lodge.
Okay, so I'm gonna, since I already have my bow drawn, I'll shoot one of them. I guess the one that's already dying.
The one that was screaming.
Yeah, let's go for that one. 18. No,
Hits.
20, sorry.
Hits.
Alrighty. So then I get
Patrick, you're next.
9.
9's not bad. Yeah, and he's like, again, just keeps moving. And as the hole in his chest that you just made, it like starts to refill again with shadow. So Patrick.
What? Can I see the source that is creating these shadows?
It looked like it was
The
the
sun.
lodge, but they broke from the lodge and they're just free floating shadows at this point.
So okay, so there's no like single light source that is casting these.
No, and what I would say is that it was probably only using Lauren's shadow as a hiding spot more than anything else.
It didn't
see.
originate there. It just found refuge.
Yeah,
So if I
and you
kill
could tell it came from the
Moonin,
shadows of the building.
They'll have nowhere to hide. I would
No.
like to kill Moonin. Just kidding. Okay, here's what I do. So I'm going to take out my short sword because I'm upset. And then I look like I'm about to attack it with the short sword. But I'm instead going to draw it to my mouth and just whisper, "You suck." And when I whisper, "You suck," I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers. And what this is going to do is this is 3d6 psychic damage.
That sounds like a really bad porn.
It has to make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, it takes all of it and must run to the most dangerous terrain it sees. Or if it passes, it takes half of it.
Wow.
But it only
And what
affects
kind of-
one creature.
Cool. And what kind of damage is this?
Psychic damage, right? What you just said?
Psychic, yes.
Perfect.
Sidekick damage.
All right. So am I rolling a save or are you rolling an attack?
He looks like he's rolling, so.
Both.
You're rolling a save to determine how much of this 13 damage
Cool.
you
And
just
what kind of
took.
save was that? I'm sorry.
It is a wisdom save.
Okay, 5.
I should have had this ready.
It's not enough. It's taking the full brunt.
It's not enough, so you take 13 damage.
and you run away.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So you watch as it takes the 13 damage and it thrusts itself into the most dangerous terrain.
But yes, so like if there was fire, it would
Those
throw
most
itself into
distant.
fire.
Absolutely.
If there
And
was,
there are those embers, and you watch as it runs itself straight into the embers and just turns into smoke.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I really like these characters. Can this be more than a one shot?
I know.
This is super fun.
Okay, that leaves the last shadow. He's going to dip down into these small shadows within the ground in like this rough kind of leaf covered ground and make a surprise attack on
Bring it
who's
on.
the one who
Bring
I
it
think
on.
it was who's the one who just hit me. It was Red, right? Red, you attacked one?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll go for you.
Like both of
Does
us attacked
a
it.
yeah, but I think Red is closer because he ran around the edge.
Oh, yeah.
17 plus 4, 21.
Nope. I'm just kidding. Yes, definitely.
Oh, you got lucky though. 5 damage.
35. Okay.
Nope, 5. And you take 3 permanent damage to your strength. So you
I
take
use
Me
I
too.
expend Bardic Inspiration. I get to roll a d6, and he gets that amount of damage back.
cool.
You can do that at any point.
I get 2 dice I can roll, so that's one of them.
That's cool.
So you take 2 damage back. I was hoping for more.
It's okay. So it's only 3, I believe. I think I said 5 the first time. And then you take the highest value number under strength. What is that for you right now?
Uh, what was the damage? Because I already applied it. What was it?
Oh, it was 3.
4,
Yeah.
You
3.
just take
Yeah.
3.
It was
So what-
it was 8. So now it's down to 5.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not great. So
Okay,
I'm
so that's-
-4 strength now. It's not super great.
no. So all of you as you look at Red, you remember instantly how that drummer was like just moving kind of slow and super weak. And you watch as Red just struggles to even pull back his bow.
Oh shit.
That goes back to Andrew.
Yeah. Oh, guess who's coming at you with a great axe?
Guess who's coming at you with a great ass?
14.
Yes. That hits.
Then I will. I will do. Gosh, I should really know what this is. 10 damage.
Cool. Yeah, you watch as your axe enters, and as you pull it back up, it just fills itself back in.
It fills itself back in.
Yeah, it's like a shadowy mass, and as you pull your axe through it, it like opens up and then kind of just reconnects itself.
Do I have bonus action of? I know I have bonus actions, but can I attack as a bonus action, or does that not happen until a higher level?
That's a good question. I don't remember offhand on the rogue in 1D&D. There are sneak attack damage you can add. So you could add, I believe, a D6 to that last one if you wanted, because he was in combat already.
Oh, because he wasn't fighting me, I can do that. Then I will do that. All right. 6 additional.
Cool.
So that's 16 is what I did total.
Yeah. Same thing kind of happens, though. Maybe
Well,
the hole was
thanks.
a little bit bigger and it closes in. But, you did something. It was good.
And then I'd like to step back.
Stop back from that ledge. All right, Red.
Okay, so we have one shadow that just attacked
Yeah.
me.
And more than your health. The fear
Right.
is like even taking steps is starting to get hard.
Yeah. Can you tell me one more time? These emerged from that big hut. Is that true?
From the wall. Just like
From the wall,
Seems
like in the
they don't
shadows.
really have like totally physical forms. Like the psychic damage did the most.
Yeah, and
Did we-
you watched one like kind of go into the ground and almost effortlessly
Yeah, I
move
was like, and we
within the
happen to
shadows of the
know
leaves.
based on what Will said that it popped up somewhere else.
But I did
Yeah.
cleave one though.
But
Fully
that's the one
fully
that
with
popped
my
back up.
No,
Here's what I'm
but
trying to
fully with my
understand is,
axe.
like-
No, I killed him.
Yeah,
He
we know
died.
one died by axe, one got
Yeah.
really hurt and then was propelled into a flame. So you know that you guys are affecting it.
It
Yeah.
is a physical being. I just didn't do enough damage to obliterate it the first time. But it is taking
Yeah.
damage.
So here's what there's two possible routes for me here. One, I'm trying to figure out if this hut is a source of these things. Like, did we get the sense that they like emerged from the wall, and that it's possible that this is just another place that they could emerge, or did they come from the orcs themselves or something like that? I'm not.
What I would
Well,
say,
they're doing some freaky shit. So
well, and this
Yeah.
I do not mean to be dismissive at all,
No,
but
no.
since
that's-
leaving the wall, it's been about 24 seconds. You probably have
Another-
not had enough time to even think
To
about
even
any
think
of
about
this.
another
Okay.
question: are the dogs
Yep.
at all helping?
Oh,
Yes,
Oh
that's-
yeah, the dogs
put
are.
them in.
Yeah,
They forgot to roll initiative. They were still eating their generic
yeah, they're
meat.
snackies.
Okay. We get to play a new thing called influence, which is a new 1D&D mechanic. And it's the way of like when you want to interact with an NPC and you're like, hey, do this for me. Usually the DM was just like, why would I? So let me really quick. I'm sorry to prolong this.
And just to add to our influence, we did feed and free these doggies, so they should be nice to us.
okay.
And I asked nicely while I could speak their language.
Okay, so you need to give me a charisma saving throw. Oh, charisma check. So just do your. Oh, you can do animal handling though. Because that's probably
Charisma's
better.
better
Aminal.
Wait.
Aminal
Raw
handling.
charisma's better.
for me.
Okay.
Like I have 1 versus 0. So
Yeah.
1 is better than
13.
0.
Yeah. How much was it?
13.
Okay. The creature will accept minor risk or sacrifice to do as asked. So you've got 2 dogs at your disposal. Let's
Mistake.
do their actions now because we probably skipped a couple turns of theirs, right?
Yeah.
So what do you want to ask these dogs to do?
Sick them and point them at the shadow.
Cool. Yeah. So they just go both up to the shadow that is now vertical. And they both rolled 12 plus 3, 15 brings me to. Cool. And then. Sorry, I wasn't planning on playing these dogs because
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's such a clear thing that I gave you guys. It just
Can
didn't
you tell
think
I
about.
played as a druid before?
Druid? I barely know her.
Yeah, no, you guys watch as both these dogs just destroy and start chomping on this big shadow creature. And every bite, it just starts poofing. And as it continues, you just watch as it starts evaporating.
I gotta get in that poof.
It's not doing it now.
But as that last shadow evaporates and disappears, you hear like a dark guttural laugh from the lodge. And through that main door, a shadow demon appears. And what I would love to try to do is share art if possible.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Pull
we're
it up
using
over
YouTube
here and then
now.
we'll
No, we don't need that. We don't need art.
I want to see.
Do it.
Pull it up and then we'll drop it into the. Yeah.
So it's called the Shadow
shit.
Demon. And
Look at that.
it's as smoky at the edges as the shadows were, but has much more of a physical form in this kind of underworld appearance.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Well, I think this is what the goblins did. I mean, these orcs.
All right, and we're just going to keep initiative going. So correct me if I'm wrong. Last time it was Aldred, then the Mastiffs.
I have not gone yet.
no,
Okay.
yeah, it's,
Interrupted because I
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, that's great then. Okay, so Jonathan, you're still dealing with that strength. Like even after these shadows went away, both Moonin and Red's strength did not return.
Yeah. So pulling on his kind of,
careful.
I guess, pulling on his instinct and kind of like background of dealing with live like animals and dens. This feels like a den, and the hut. So I'm going to weakly make my way, taking really labored steps over to this hut and trying to be inconspicuous, staying as far out of range of the shadow demon. I'm going to cast Produce Flame and set the hut on fire.
Perfect. So you guys watch as in the kind of
Wait, are we
far
in this
edge.
hut?
We are all
No,
in this
you guys
hut.
are all
Okay, okay.
outside.
Okay.
You guys had exited. The shadows had exited.
We're like out in the main common area
Tell
of
the
this.
dogs to leave.
Yeah, because I triggered everything. You guys cut the head off, and then you had walked out, and that's when everything
Oh,
started
okay.
triggering.
I was kind of picturing it backwards. That's fine.
I did too. I thought we were still in the middle of this hut. I didn't realize we had walked out of it.
I basically
Okay.
thought like we
Sorry.
turned inside to fight the demons and not outside, so this makes perfect
They came
sense.
out
Got
into
it.
like under the moonlight.
I got it.
Cool, and you watch as Red is now setting in a blaze, right? And it's going to take time. Produce Flame isn't like a fireball, but you're watching as all of like the loose tinder is starting to blaze, and then it's starting to gradually start growing across the backside. That goes to Lauren.
Gonna put.
I do think that Patrick's character should have been named Moonin. I'm just saying.
Apparently, it really should have. So like we're watching this hut like catch on fire. The demon
Slow.
is inside
Slow,
of
though.
it
It's
though.
not- No, the demon has exited the door.
So I would like to make a slight appeal here. I can attack with this.
Piss
But how
off,
much damage
yes.
would it? How much damage would it normally do?
Well, what I mean is I can hurl the flame. right? It says I can hurl it at a creature, but I assume that I could target that.
Does it have a damage attached to it?
Yes, but I don't. I want this flame to consume it. So if we're just talking about just pure damage, I don't want to. I'd rather go with the slow flame.
Well, so what I would say is like we'll use damage to say how big of a flame it starts as.
I understand. Okay. Yeah. So the attack is, I believe,
It's like 1d6.
1d8.
Okay, that's better than I thought.
Yeah. So I could do.
I'm not sure I'm understanding everything.
So
produce flames can be like a small fireball.
Okay, okay. And so,
so
he's
my
throwing this
understanding
at
was
the
more-
demon?
No, at the
He's
house.
throwing it at the house.
Just because Jonathan's
make a
hope is
bigger
that
fire.
it sets on fire faster than I'm explaining it.
Okay, okay. And then
because you can either produce flame and it's kind of like you're holding
Yeah.
it in your hands, or you
is the
can
demon like
throw,
anywhere
like,
near
a
the
little
door where we
fireball.
could like knock it into the house? I guess that's
Sure.
what I'm like trying to
Yeah,
understand. Like,
absolutely. It just exited the door.
That was a
Okay.
6, by the way.
Okay, perfect.
gonna-
Yeah, we'll say that it is starting to consume.
Okay.
Okay, then I want to like shoot him with an arrow, trying to knock him back. Is the idea?
Okay.
Should I just roll like for attack?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't know why I can't do math. 19.
19 hits.
Okay. So this is gonna be with my arrows. Oh wait, wrong dice. Yes, 9. Which is top damage I could do with this.
Perfect. You watch as the arrow enters its chest, and what looked like hard surface kind of opened up into shadow, and it exits the backside, and then starts to kind of fill back in.
That is frustrating. Can I use a bonus action?
To do what?
Cast guidance on whoever is nearby so that they get a plus D4 on an
Sure.
ability check.
Next would be Crenchist. I cannot
my
say
God.
that name, man.
Oh
You know the
my
word. You know the
God.
word. You know the word dentist, right? Just
Yes,
change it to
dentist. This is an Office reference, right?
Yes.
Should
Either
really
that or
watch
it's
the
a
show.
political joke that none of us understand.
Well, DM Will seems to think that we're being very political tonight.
That's all I've been reading about. It's not good. Okay. So who do you want to cast guidance on?
Anyone I can touch in this turn.
Yeah, just tell me who you want to be vibing with.
Red. Red's my bud.
There you go. So you're kind
Unlike
of over.
Prentice, who has a red bud.
You're over kind of now by the far side of the lodge because that's where Red was setting a blaze.
Oh, am I not near him? Who am I close to then? Prentice.
I mean, it could be anyone. Red just said specifically that he was leaving.
Well, it can't be everybody.
Oh, that's my bad then. Prentice, you can have the bonus.
Thanks. What does that mean?
You get a plus D4 on an ability check that you want in the next round. Basically.
Oh.
All right, Crentist.
Tist.
Listen, dissonant whispers. All right, I'm not dumb. It worked. It worked once. It'll work again.
Dissonant whispers.
So now, I'm gonna roll my 3d6. 3d6. You're gonna roll a Wisdom saving throw.
10.
Oh man, I was feeling really good about that. I rolled 2 6s to start, but then a 2, so 14.
That's still
So
not bad.
you
And that's
fail. So you
that's
take
psychic
14
damage.
and have to move towards something damage.
Like that fire that Red just put.
Dangerous, not damage.
I mean,
but
or the
dangerous.
demon. Like,
No, that's the demon that's who you just attacked, right? The demon?
yeah.
How far is he
Oh,
supposed to
he
move?
has to move to it.
The demon has to move toward the.
I thought. I
If
thought
available,
it was him. I misunderstood.
it must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature, yeah.
Just away? Any direction? It didn't have something to do with danger?
Yeah, I read that backwards,
goes to
but I'm going
damage.
to take that one, DM Will.
I like it. Don't worry, dude. You know me. It doesn't matter. It just moves 30 feet, maybe more into the center of the space.
Sure.
I like yours more though. I like the idea of driving someone mad to self-harm.
Yeah, I did too. But
that's
it
what I
turns
thought it
out
was,
that's
is
the
it-
back. That's backwards, but nobody called me on it.
I also
I
like
misread it.
I like it how it played out this time. Okay. My turn because he hasn't gone yet. Okay, the demon can move through other creatures and objects.
Should you be reading this out loud?
He's smoking. You guys know. You saw the other shadows do
Okay,
it.
all right. Just, I don't know if this was supposed to be an inner monologue.
If you didn't guess that this thing could move through you, then
Okay.
I will say this because I do have movement.
Yeah.
After that attack, I am going to start actually moving towards where the kids are. That makes
That's
sense.
outside.
Like leaving
Yeah,
the
you're
arena.
gonna leave the room, the area.
Yeah, I'm going to start moving that direction. Yeah.
Cool. I would say you're about 1/3 the way there.
Okay.
Quaxley,
Yeah.
you've been doing crazy damage with your axe, so he's gonna come up towards you, and he hits with a 23.
I have a ready action of avoid and run.
Okay. What's that do?
I'm just kidding. I didn't have
I was
that
like,
base.
is this
I wasn't ready, actually.
yeah, I was
the
like, this is
banner?
a cool action. Yeah.
I have to unfurl the banner so that it takes that was what I was getting ready to do, but it takes an action to do it, right?
Unless it says specifically action to untangle.
It does not say that.
Then we would just say it's a object use, which you get like one of every. So if you want to like drink a potion, that's just considered an object use.
Oh, then yeah, I unfurl the banner
Cool.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So anything within 20 feet of me, I'm going to use standard shield.
Cool. So I would say Moonin is probably still within 20 feet of you.
Okay. Any. This benefits you. Wait. What's the. Okay, wait. What is courage?
You can't be scared, I think.
You
Or,
can't be
like,
scared.
Fear is a thing in D&D, like a mechanic.
Oh, I see it. Okay. You're immune to being frightened, the frightened condition. Okay. Then I'm just gonna use the shield, which any ranged attack that targets me or any of my allies within 20 feet is at disadvantage while it's unfurled.
Cool. Sadly, claws.
This lasts for a minute. So
Cool.
What?
He used claws, so he's like right up in your face.
Did he
clawing
throw the
at you.
claws at me?
No. Not this time. You only take 9 damage, though.
Just straight up 9 damage?
Yep. Well, psychic damage, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
And then it's going
okay.
then it's going to go to your turn.
That's not a little amount when you're only level 3.
No. No, it's not.
That's about half my health.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's, I guess what my point was, is it didn't attack your strength.
Yes, that's true. Not what happened to them. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so now it goes to me. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Gosh. I think I'm just gonna. I feel like I have to just attack it. I feel like I just have to attack it. Yeah. Can I still do sneak attack? Okay.
Not this time.
Does a 12 hit?
No.
Then I will
use. I can boost a D20 test when someone within 60 feet
That's us.
that I can hear fails.
That's me.
I can roll a D6 and they're allowed to add
Me
it
all along.
to their test. And I rolled a 5. So
Yeah.
does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Now I have that's all of my bardic inspiration, but you're welcome.
Thank
Which
you.
feels pretty good. Like you're at the bossy fight and just have run out now. It's like a nice
Yeah,
balance.
that's good.
9.
Little meta talk, but for 1 D&D, it's working out.
So I do 12. I do 12 damage. Slashing damage. And
Cool.
then
I think the typical effects, right? Like you slice through, it leaves a mark, but it slowly starts to fill back in with like a smoke.
Okay. Can I use a bonus action to disengage?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do that, and I'll run toward my boy.
I'll let you say his name.
Crentist.
Jonathan. Jonathan, your turn.
With my banner.
Centrist.
I'm like, the banner is now flowing behind me as I.
Oh man. Yeah. I love it. I love that item, period.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Very
we're
cool.
we've seen these two heading towards the children.
Sadly, kind of away from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. I'm leaving me the very weak elf.
Yeah, I would say
Don't worry.
you are at -4 now.
Yeah.
I would say, like, I don't know the mechanics of this, but I would say like your speed should probably be cut in half.
I think that's when you have exhaustion.
I don't know, but you
That's-
should like just.
That doesn't sound right.
No, he
It
said your
seems wrong.
speech is cut in half. You can only
All right,
say
we'll
gonna
let
say,
you keep
like-
going.
Yeah.
We'll let you keep going.
was
What I
gonna
will
say,
say is,
if I
if your
shoot
strength
with a-
hits 0 in
Yeah.
D&D, you do just die.
What is
You-
this, Will?
Oh, you mean
Oh.
like passive?
I don't know. I don't even know how I should. That's my brave loading window.
At least
How did I even do that? Oh, was I sharing that?
You were sharing, and we toggled it on.
That's so funny.
Oh,
I was.
that's so funny.
I opened a new tab to look at what does negative strength do.
That's so funny.
I'm not quite.
Dare
to
you to
negative
share another
strength,
tab?
Yeah.
Shame on me.
Didn't we destroyed? So the dogs killed the one that was that
Yeah,
was
all
dragging my
all those
strength
like
down.
shadow things that attacked you are done.
Yeah,
And
It's
then
purely
they
just-
basically like
Purely
died
the
and
demon.
became this one big bad demon. I think.
shadow demon. And has he hit anybody? Has he even taken?
yeah,
he
he
hit the
did.
claws.
He did a big hit on Quaxley.
Okay.
Big hit. Big
Yeah,
hit.
yeah, yeah.
Quaxley.
Big claws hit. All right.
But didn't remove strength at all.
Right. So
Did that
so
sound
they're-
menacing?
they're
Yeah, it
running
did,
to the
extremely.
kids.
Good.
You're the demon
What is
voice
he-
now.
Where is the demon?
Kind of right on top of Quaxley, maybe 5. Oh no, Quaxley disengaged. So was
Yes.
where Quaxley was, sort of close where Moonin is, I believe, because Moonin was near them.
Within
both.
20 feet, yeah.
Yeah.
It always makes me so just 2 seconds here. It's always funny to me that you can just be like, no, I don't think I want to do this, and leave. And the demon's like,
But that's real
have that
life
option
too.
in
We
a
all
regular
you can always turn around and go.
yeah, but wouldn't the demon
It's called
just like
quiet
pursue
quitting.
you?
But
know?
yeah, probably.
There's a good chance of that, but that's what we're here
But
for.
no, I've taken the disengage action. If he starts to pursue me, I'm just going to keep disengaging.
You can always
It's-
stop smoking,
wanna-
and that demon will probably pursue you.
Yeah, and that'll preach.
All right.
Oh man. Okay, so I think the most reasonable action for me to take at this point, I'm behind him. Like, does he know of my presence? I guess he saw me walk around, right?
Yeah, and because he disengaged mechanically, he's no longer in combat,
He's
so
no-
it would just
yeah.
be a straight attack.
Unless
You're
he's
saying-
unless he's behind him, and then it could still be a sneak attack.
That's true. Yeah, we can say that if you want.
That's what I'm wondering. Is
Good
like,
point.
are
Thank you,
we
Andrew.
out of combat technically? Sort of, kind of.
You're definitely in combat.
Okay,
We are
But it
in
is a sneak
initiative
attack.
fighting. I'm just
Yeah, you're in
he is just not preoccupied with me
With you.
directly
Right.
because I am not directly in front of him anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
Theoretically, I would guess, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Will. The next closest person would be Moonin, so he
Moonin.
would theoretically be turning to face her.
Yeah,
Theoretically.
yeah, it's
Theoretically,
either that or who's greatest threat.
Right.
Is this going to give me advantage? What does the sneak attack provide for me in this particular case?
Yeah, you get advantage, and
Okay.
you're
get
a
to add-
ranger, so you don't get the extra sneak attack. You just get advantage.
Right. Okay. All right. I will pull out my longbow again because it's just been excellent for this, and I'm kind of slowly moving around, and it's labored considering my strength.
Yeah, and we'll say
is-
like
is
this
low.
this shot is really BA, right? Like there's a burning wall behind you.
Yeah.
So from the demon's views, you're backlit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
You
he's
are
like
a shadowy figure.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
are the shadowy figure.
Yeah, I was like +1 attack for being scary.
Exactly. Yes. So
I am vengeance.
well, it's wonderful that it's a sneak attack because that one wasn't great.
So just so that our viewers know, like, it's not technically sneak attack. You're just attacking with advantage because you're attacking from
Yes.
behind. It's
Yeah,
a
that
flank
makes sense.
attack.
That makes sense.
Sneak
Okay.
sneak attack is an actual.
Is a mechanic, like
a
capital
mechanic,
S
right.
sneak attack. Got it.
So
Yep.
I don't want to be. I always hate being like the dick rule book, but
Right.
Pedantic.
No. That
you are
makes
doing
sense.
everything right. Just the wrong term.
Right. 15.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So give me that damage. And
Oh yeah. Did you
Lauren,
hear that,
you're gonna be up
Patrick? He
next.
said, "Oh yeah."
And a 12 is a no.
So, zibbity-bop.
Hang on a second. That's 13.
perfect. Same kind of joint, right? Boop boop, and then fills in. Lauren. It is kind of that.
Like puff puff
Yeah.
pass.
Puff puff pass.
Okay,
Go ahead, Andrew. Yep. Go
since
ahead.
I'm the only one there, I'm just gonna.
Thank you.
It's a Dare commercial. So I want to switch to my 2 weapon fighting instead of the longbow.
Cool.
Does that take a whole action, or can I still do the 2 attacks?
No, we'll just say. Well, so you would just drop your bow on the ground.
That's fine. All right, so I'm gonna go. I have a scimitar and a short sword. I'm gonna attack with those.
Okay. Are you familiar with the 2-weapon attacking?
I'm reading it to make sure that I do it
Cool.
correctly because
yeah, you
like,
don't get the bonuses on the second one. So you pick the one that you want, like the most important weapon goes first because the second one has less chance of hitting.
Mine are
and less
exactly
chance...
the same. The 2 weapons are exactly the same. So
Perfect. Then it's up to
Yeah.
you.
Okay, let's have the second one be big. I got 13. The first one. I rolled 2, right? Just making sure. Ooh, 21.
Cool. Yeah, you were rolling for both your attacks, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Just
So both
2
hit.
attack. Okay, both
Yep.
hit. All right, so. Oh, I think I added those up slightly wrong, but that's okay. It's still okay, so I won't complain. And then I also got this bow. Wait, okay, so I have a question. Has he taken this demon taken any HP points damage?
Yes.
Okay, so then I get to do an extra 1d8 damage as one of my abilities that I didn't know about.
Yeah, hunters prey is that one?
Yes,
I think, right?
exactly.
And
exactly.
honestly,
So
kids, here's the thing. Like, if you learn to read, you'll be able to find out when you have extra abilities you haven't used.
yeah,
So,
I'm
like,
just not
that's a
used
good
to this.
motivator for just learning reading.
Well, this is why D&D should be in all schools.
Yes.
18.
Is that both of them combined?
Yes, both combined. Oh wait, I get to add the extra one. I'm sorry, I forgot one.
You're good. Get that D8, right?
Yeah. Well, then I get the extra D6 is what I forgot.
Oh, and question about the extra damages you're rolling. Does it say what kind of damage? I'm sure it's just added to your other numbers.
It's just
so
added to the
Cool.
weapon.
Yep.
So 18 plus 4 would be 22.
22 total.
Yes, 22 total.
Okay, so that's...
Do you need me to separate them?
Nope.
Okay.
I just need to be able to do math.
Okay. I know I had a second where I had to write everything down.
Okay, so that goes to Patrick.
And
Crentist.
Crentist is now done with his demonic shit. I don't care anymore. You can go do your bullshit somewhere else. So I'm going to use my last spell slot to cast my last Dissonant Whisper. And then I'm just going to fully focus on getting these kids, along with quackers, and taking them back to their parents. So you are going to have to roll Wisdom saving throw. And I'm going to roll 3d6 of psychic damage.
I'd like to grant him bardic inspiration.
I don't think you can.
But I'd like to. I'm just noting that I would love to be able to do that.
I
He
rolled
has,
a 20.
he has the guidance that I gave him. So you do have a D4 you can add
Okay.
if you need it.
Yeah. You do have 4 that
That's
you can add
fine.
to it.
So the point is, I rolled 15 damage. You passed the throw, which means you're not going to have to run away, but you're going to have to take half of that 15 damage.
Perfect. He's not looking so hot.
And at this point, I don't care how he's looking. I'm gonna continue walking
Go
towards
get
these
those
children.
kids. Yeah.
Walking.
I like the idea
or
of
are
a
you
slow
gonna-
walk.
You're just like casually.
I
know I
I'll
know
get
I
it.
I know I get 30. Yeah, exactly. I know I get 30. I'm going to take 12. I'm going to take
Lauren.
12 steps toward him.
Does 11 hit you?
My armor's
No.
13.
So
Cool.
no.
So you watch as he like takes these giant claw swipes at you, but potentially because of these last hits, is just like missing.
I want to do a cool spin to get out of the way so my cape like flies up.
Yeah, I like it.
And then
What's
Claw
necessary?
catches your cape, and then he flings you.
That's why superheroes don't have capes.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
my cape has special powers, all right?
Oh, and it's like, is it a brimstone? Like,
But I also can cast Dimension Door and you disappear and reappear.
I forgot about Dimension.
Why haven't
Yeah,
you
so
been
it's
doing
basically
this?
I have one Nightcrawler move.
She can only do
I
it
got one
once, I
Bamf,
think. Yeah.
one way.
Well, this might be the time to do it and kill the thing.
But
Can you-
I'm
can you,
right
like,
next to him
banish
and I'm
him?
ready to kill him.
Yeah,
you
but
throw
how
him
cool
in
would
there?
it be for you to go poof and then you come up from behind him and stab him in the head? How
And
rad
he's not
would that be?
expecting
I mean-
it.
I would definitely
Yes.
give advantage to that.
Because you would get advantage. It's
All right,
Okay,
Andrew.
well, if we get to my turn again.
Andrew, what's the move?
I'm going to. Okay, I'm gonna let Lauren have this one. I'm going to ready my action, and if it goes to attack her again,
Okay.
I will then shoot my my bow at it.
Perfect. All right.
Can I ready my action and still move or no? Like that's me passing my whole turn.
That's you pass.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
no. So that's you readying your action. You still would have
Yes.
movement, but if you move
Then-
out of range, then it would fail.
I would not be out of range. I'd be still within the range.
Kind of right at that gate.
I would be right there. Yeah. So that should still work.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Okay. Cool. Then that's what I'll do. And I'm right there.
Red.
So here's a question that I have for Moonin. Have you told us what this cape does? Like, is this a finishing move that we're all used to? That we're like, all right, we set.
We don't know- we don't
Depends
know
how long
her.
you. Yeah.
Well,
you guys
no.
don't-
The idea is like you guys have been working together doing these
Right.
missions.
That's
Oh.
what
So
I'm
you
asking.
have to
Oh,
just
that
you just get to
changes
decide.
things.
I would
Like,
say, yeah.
what do you wanna
guys,
tell them?
You guys can know because they wouldn't have like not used this ever. You know.
Right. So the reason I ask
But
this
maybe
is,
you
like,
guys think that I can do it and it's not the cape.
which would
I
track
wanna
because you're the
s-
only like angelic being of the group.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I like that you guys think that me and not the cape.
It's
but-
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Because if we knew it
doesn't
was the
matter to
cape, we would
me-
have stolen it. For sure.
exactly.
It doesn't matter so much like how you do it to me. I want to, if this is like a layup kind of option.
So you're going to ready in action.
No. I'm actually going to.
He's
I'm
gonna
going
kill
to-
it and just steal the glory.
If you're
I want
close to me, I can take you with me. But I think we're on opposite sides of the demon right now.
We are, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Thorn Whip, and
hold
it'll
him.
pull him to me, and it'll I don't think it holds him, but it'll at least grab his he'll be very attuned to me. But this is a question for the DM. Like, is there a way to do this in a way that doesn't, kill the?
Oh yeah, I would say you have 100%
Like,
chance of
control
not
over
killing
it.
the demon with a thorn whip.
Okay, all right. You would say, like, statistically speaking.
1d6
1d6 piercing damage. Yeah.
You're good.
You're fine.
He has
You're-
more than
you're
6
fine.
health.
You're fine.
Okay, cool.
Those are the answers you get after an hour and a half, 2 hours of play. You're like, yeah, there's no way that thorn whip's going to do
That's
that.
not gonna work. Melee spell attack. I'm not sure exactly what that even means.
It would be melee damage. So how is the range? That's the question.
30 feet.
You know how Loki
Okay.
conjures that small little like lightning show in his fist?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you conjure that and then punch him.
Yeah.
That's a melee spell attack.
Yes, there you go. So what is the modifier on a melee spell attack? Is what I'm wondering.
It's going to probably be. I'm just going to read it real quick.
My survival or my stealth?
Neither. You're the ranger.
Yes.
So I'm almost positive it's wisdom. Maybe on the top of your third page, it will say spell modifier.
Oh, it's wisdom. Okay.
Yeah. Let's just do that. Well, because I don't really know the rules for the Thorn Whip.
Okay.
Let's just do a D20 plus your modifier.
It's a 9.
Total?
Yeah.
You guys see a really cool kind of thorn shaped vine come out of him and then kind of just miss and like waggle on the ground a little bit.
Okay, here's what I want to know. Do I get his attention?
Sure.
Okay. That's
he's
all
like,
I
"What
really
was
was
that?"
intending to do anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Lauren, that's back to you.
Yeah, it is. Come on.
Am I far enough that I actually need to even warp up on him? Because if he's
Come
paying
on.
attention to
Why
Red,
would you not want
Make
to
it
do
look
this?
cool.
Lauren, that is a bad question.
What
Okay,
are you
yeah,
doing?
okay. So
Can
I'm
you
gonna- I'm
remove
gonna use-
inspiration.
Okay,
Take
okay.
inspiration away from her.
Stop. All right, then I'm gonna use the cape.
Yes.
I gave up my turn so you could do this thing.
You're okay. So gonna use the cape and like basically like Five does in Umbrella Academy, be like right behind him and then attack with both weapons.
There you go.
So do
Yes.
I get
advantage
how does that,
on both?
Okay, advantage on both.
Because why not?
Yeah.
To hit or for the damage?
Advantage is on hit.
Okay, just making sure.
But if you get a D20, then you get to double roll your dice for the other ones.
And you get to see the ticker come up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The thing we said we'd never use, we use it on every episode now, and I love it.
I don't know why you said
awesome.
you wouldn't want to use it. It's incredible.
The first one is 22, so that will be
hits.
good. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll just to see if I get a 20. Damn it! No, I got 21 on the second one.
Yeah, they both hit. So if we were playing D&D with my brother, that second one would have been a natural 20, no matter what you rolled.
I tried. I got a 19. That was
Because he
Very
lies.
close.
Is that why?
On shows, he's like, "Oh, this would be way more epic. I'll just do
yeah,
it."
basically.
He fudges. I was like, "Dan," because one day he fudged way too many. I was like, "Dan, there's no way those were real." He's like, "None of them were."
Oh
Just
my
like,
god.
Man.
you can't do that, Dan.
I didn't know we were allowed to do it at all. That's good to know now.
Supposed to.
You know, I was like,
it's
could
good though,
fudge
'cause I'm
things.
going really well.
All right, what is that damage you're doing on those things?
Hang on, let me just double check that I did this right. 24.
Oh yeah. That's completely, that's way more than enough. You like show up behind this demon and yeah, both swords just go right through his
Oh, I
back.
forgot to mention that there's a puff of smoke when I appear, which is very cool.
What color is the smoke?
What?
What color?
Let's say black.
Okay.
Why
My
not?
God.
It's the smoky color smoke.
Well,
Yeah, you pop out
I don't know. It could be red, sure, whatever.
and both blades go into the shoulders and you watch as it just starts corroding from the blades point out, just turning to smoke. And as it dies, just both of it, those two horns from the head lay on the ground loose. So we
I
are
pump my fist triumphantly as the horns erupt from the ether.
we are past our allotted time. So you guys
Yeah.
go back to the village. I don't know if there's anything you guys need to say or do to feel
Can I keep one of the
fulfillment.
demon horns?
You can keep both the demon horns.
Yeah.
I do want to ask one question. When we get back to the children, we notice that their shadows are back. Are they alive again?
Mm-mm.
They are dead,
Died.
but they have shadows.
Yes.
That's
Will's a dick.
unuseful. Yeah,
So
it does kind of seem like you set that up to be a thing.
I sure am glad they have
Save
shadows now.
Yeah,
So the
they're
shadow
fans.
is a weird creature in D&D. It's a half CR, meaning with a party of 4, you should be able to go up against 2 of them. But if it goes up against a party of level 1, like a level 4 of 1s, it would reduce your strength to 0 within 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah.
Which means even at a level 9, they're like a formidable. But the idea is when they kill you, they take your shadow. If someone brings you back alive, you have no shadow because your shadow is still going, and then it'll come back and kill you again.
Oh, so now
So-
they
That
just
is
can't be
pretty
killed
cool,
again.
though.
They can't have a second death.
Right.
That's
Okay.
helpful.
Yeah.
So on returning,
Mm-hmm.
I first point out Yeah, it was 3 orcs, exactly as I said.
You've had that in the barrel. You've had that in the barrel since
The entire
2 hours
time.
ago. Yeah.
And then I take the potato out of the man's hand because I assume he's just eating a potato raw.
Yeah,
like an apple.
Say, these potatoes suck. I throw it to the ground,
Good Lord, man.
take my money, and I leave. And as I'm walking out, as you see like my ass break into the moonlight, freeze frame, and then it tells you that I died like an hour later.
Like of what though? Of what? Like this is like the thing at the end of Housewives where it pauses. The paragraph comes up about you.
Oh gosh.
He
Just
died
imagine,
from
I don't know.
he died from
A freak,
poisoning
a
because
jock,
he actually
and a-
loved the potatoes.
Yeah.
He ate the potatoes and one of them was poisoned. and he
Potato
died from that.
poisoning. Or he used the
Prentice
potato
died
in
hours later of a tragic potato poisoning
in
accident.
an unsavory way, using his assless chaps and the potato, and he resulted in death.
Yeah,
So, go.
I was just gonna say I think I would have done everything I could like with those orc children. I would have tried to cure wounds and everything to the point that it was just we were
So
totally
it made it worse, really.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like
and once we
They were
totally
not unharmed
resigned-
before we messed with it.
you said you want to do what and slap them?
totally resigned to the fact that they were dead.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
this
yeah.
point, I would be probably seeking help myself to regain my strength back, because if we end the story with me at -4 strength, it's just a really sad picture for the remainder of my life.
Yeah,
And
so
I
that's
walk-
the other part of Shadows.
And I walk away.
Good luck.
I walk away.
Forever.
No, you have to go find like a priest who can cure these things. And there's a church there, so
I was like, does
so you
this
get
just
taken care
happen
of.
to be a church?
Moonin, what happens to you after the adventure? Okay.
Who are you asking?
Moonin.
Sorry.
He
No,
says
no,
Moonin.
Moonin.
He
I
addressed
didn't-
you
I
directly.
didn't hear. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear.
Please, Moonin, go and raise these dogs.
Yeah, I was thinking I adopt the 2 dogs that we saved from the orc village, and we go off on more adventures together.
And this was the group's last job.
Anyone's welcome to come with
disbanded.
me. I have
And-
lots to do, apparently.
And no one hired them again.
So what do you guys think about like One DnD? I think the
I
big
loved
things,
it.
This is great.
saw
Yeah,
were
I love this.
the checks
honestly.
were a little more defined.
Yeah.
The inspiration was a little bit more fruitful.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what this felt like? It felt like if you had a DM who, like you,
knows what they're doing.
yes, who has done this for a while and
Yeah.
and like has those little kind of tricks up their sleeve of, okay, when this happens, we use this.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't feel like the DM. What it seems like to me is the DM has a little less like. I mean, you still have a lot of the power, but it feels like they're trying to democratize that a little bit more to the rules.
We did about 6 less investigation checks than I normally would.
Well, yeah, it also
Yeah.
like just spreads the love between your skills instead of like always being insight or investigation checks or
Right.
perception.
Right.
You know, like I feel like this like uses a lot more different skills when you do it.
Yeah.
There have been games that we played, and actually with people in this group, where, like, for example, history is essentially useless. So when you're building a character, you could just, like, if you know that DM or you know that world or whatever, the setting, you could just build to the world or to the setting and trash your history because you know it's not going to be used. But if you have these kinds of guidelines, you're more prone to like either actually have a negative effect of that or want to balance your character out a little bit more.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things that we actually got to encounter, we actually encountered quite a bit more than I thought we would. But the influence and having a check for like, how do you actually interact with these dogs? Not just be like a random, but like there's a whole like roll your dice against this chart thing. And it's like, okay, you rolled high enough that they're going to help you, but they're never going to put themselves in like life's danger, which I thought was pretty neat.
I
They
thought
had
that
something
Definitely.
like, what is it, like 12 different brackets? I know that, Will, you and I have read through these.
Yeah, so there's
on
3
air
different
before, yeah.
sections of like, how are they your friend? Are they indifferent? Or are they an enemy? And then within each of those 3, there's 2. There's
If
like
your roll is this, if your roll is this, if your roll is this, and then like it shows you how they'll respond.
yeah.
Which is
So
great.
I mean, that was pretty dope.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where I feel like a DM normally would just use like their own
Just pull a number
opinion.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like now it's saying, oh, there's a table for this, right?
I like, and maybe some of this is because we are all at least moderately experienced players at this point, but we moved quickly through this. We did things. It was not boring. We were all active. We all contributed. We did unique things, and it was fun. And those unique things paid off. Like,
Yes.
and it wasn't easy, right? It wasn't easy.
Right.
Like some of our characters were hurting pretty bad by the end, but it was a really eventful 2.5 hour session. Like we covered a lot, and I think we actually, this is the first time we've ever done a one shot where I actually feel like,
Yeah,
that
we
was
had
good.
a full adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of the credit for that goes like you can't just like plug in One DnD and expect that a one shot will go that way.
No,
a lot
no,
of that
no.
is, I mean, like Will, you are experienced
Yeah.
enough that you know how to run.
We're getting better
a
at this
one-shot
as a
well.
group. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
it did go a little bit longer than I thought it would, but like we're getting good at like knowing kind of styles of play, maybe, you know, like how can we have some fun? So I think it's working out. The next time we do this, I would love for you guys to build your own characters, because I think that's another big aspect of One DnD. And I got to see it 5 times. It's just like how different building characters feels with this background and feat influence. So if we do it again, you guys come up with your own characters.
You
I
mean
think,
when
I
we
was like,
do it
I
again?
love this
yes.
one.
Well,
Yeah.
and so if I was a betting man, I think the next D&D release will probably be more classes, because we only got 3 classes. I bet they're going to release 3 more in the next grouping. So then we can all have individual, no repeats, and just have a little bit more fun with new things.
Ooh, yeah.
So I guess at that, we're ready to sign off. So, Jonathan, where can we find you on the internet?
Oh man, I hesitate to say it in the current moment, but at J Cutrell on Twitter. I don't have a blue check mark, and then
Congratulations.
I'll lend you.
You're our
I'll lend
friend.
you the $8.
yeah, thanks, appreciate it. And then developerT.com is a podcast that I do that's completely different from this.
Yeah, and it's a good listen. I've listened to quite a few episodes, so go check out
Yes.
Developer T for sure. Patrick, Lauren, Andrew.
You can find me at J_Cutrell, and I do have a blue check mark.
Yeah.
So just make sure you look for me there.
And I'm at JAY_Cutrell. I have a half blue check mark. The other half is still pending.
You have
We'll
a blue
see.
check mark, but you don't have the official verification symbol underneath.
Yeah.
hate it
We'll
so
see how it all shakes out.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's gonna be. But you
Yeah.
can find all of my musings there. That's where I do most of my stand-up workshopping and other things.
Yeah.
Cool.
And mine is like all caps, J Cutrell. And then I used to have a blue check
She's
mark, but I
Jay
lost it.
Cutrell.
Yeah.
She's Jay Cutrell.
Cutrell.
And that might be my next D&D character.
If it's not, we're doing something wrong for sure.
And I'm at all caps J Cutrell 35. And you guys all have a great day.
Thank
Before
you,
we sign
Will.
off, Jonathan, when Twitter implodes, where are you gonna go?
Oh,
Big screen.
Is
Can we
Mastodon an
can we
option?
zoom in any more? Is there any way to zoom in more, like just onto his nose?
this has been Deep Thoughts with Jay Cutrells.
And the gang.
The 5 J's.
Which one?
Great band name.
All right. Are we sending this out of here?
I think
All right,
so.
I'll do
Let's
it
get
too.
out of here.
Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
We're going to go away one at a time. I'll be last. Bye.